Okay. In 3, in 2, in fuck,
You
I
got this.
forgot.
You got
Got
this.
this.
You got this.
We won't be live until you finish this.
I believe.
Okay. Okay.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all
7
I can
minutes.
spend.
1.
Oh,
You've got this. One more time. And then we'll move over to
Okay.
live.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Blast off. I'm sorry. I welcome everyone back for session. Got a blast. Welcome back to everyone to session 4 of Sands of Doom. You were live the entire time. Oh, sorry, everybody. Hold on. Raptor 2 on Echo needs to show us something.
No. That's for us only.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, I guess fuck me. I'm happy to have us back with our session. Huh? Oh. Oh, no. All right. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I am.
Chat, just so you know, I have flashbanged everybody.
With this is what they do. This is what they do seconds before every time Critical Role goes live to the GM. This is a known thing. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody, to session 4 of Sands of Doom. After a week-long break, I'm very excited for us to jump back into Kirat and the Great Wastelands, as we are now knee-deep in an investigation, as we have lost a near and dear member of the Kirat civilization, an important member of the expedition, alongside Rahima Sunseeker, who is now within the party, and I'm very excited for us to continue for that notion. However, I know we have 2 recappers in this party, so would either of the recappers like to throw their dice out and see which one of them wants to have a 3rd hero point for the session? Going once. Going twice. And not even a fight. I guess not even a fighter. We know that Arano's not a fighter. That's too bad. But
I did my time. 7 years of it.
Hey, Iris also does it, so it's all good.
I'm the dedicated recap person.
I mean,
in Lost Ghost.
I can do a fucking recap if you guys want. It'll just be a whole lot of like, damn, I don't actually remember.
Damn, what happened?
Damn, I don't know.
Damn, what the fuck happened?
That was nearly a fortnight ago. What do you expect?
Yeah, so some shit happened. We did some shit. We didn't do other shit. Here we are.
That is missing.
Yeah. You guys made some choices in the last 2 sessions that had caused a particularly chaotic scene that needed to be solved. But Angelique, looks like you're going to go for it, and you can take it away whenever you like.
Absolutely. Where we last left off last session in Sands of Doom, we found ourselves in the encampment of the cultists, is maybe an appropriate word, as the people that we had all killed got back up. Skeletons turned red by the rust sands beneath us as they attempted to drag us into the sounds, which they did not drag us into the sands, but they managed to drag 4 of the remaining researchers from the caravan into the sands. Halke also being dragged into the sands. Rahima having spectral wounds open on her skin, sharing in the pain. Fighting them off and realizing that it was a losing battle to attempt to stand our ground and fight them off rather than simply leave. Rahima made a check, just read some things on the obelisk, and found that offering the heka that we found to the obelisk could reward us. Offering one of the chunks to the obelisk, it began to glow. It began to shoot golden light onto Rahima and then into the jackal-headed statues that remained. And the sand, wherever the statue's gaze lingered, changed from the bright red of the normal, well, not normal, but the rust sand that we are used to, into inert, regular yellow sand, as well as many of the undead immediately being wiped and made inert and simply falling apart. Save for one harpy skeleton, tougher than the rest. As we decided to ran out, only one scholar came with us, being a lone survivor, besides us. And everyone remarked that it's strange that the undead seem to move with a bit more of a purpose. They normally only do that during the night. Something's off. Regardless, we attempted to pinpoint Rumbold's location and could only pinpoint that he was within the direction of north and within 5 miles. Deciding it was best to head back to town, the caravan all packed up, headed back to town. At the gate, we spoke to a strange woman who asked us why the Sultana rules if she is not the best warrior. Really on the level of, why does Sultana not simply eat everybody else if she's more powerful? She didn't actually ask that. That was a Futurama reference. I apologize. We divvied the gold. She asked us, well, that's odd then, and simply walked away, seemingly not wanting to actually get into the city. Just started walking south. Odd. Anyway, we entered the city and we met with quite a little imp of a girl, no pun intended. We met with Zuluna Zanzara, who had an established relationship, it seems, with pretty much everybody in the party, including Angelique, surprisingly, as she commented something to Angelique that really quite upset her. Following her back to the palace so that we could speak to the Sultana, we were led inside. We met with now I'm not remembering the word of the other lady, the other girl that talked to us, who
Or her name?
A little of both. I know she was like a right-hand person.
Her name is Morgiana. I don't know if we got her actual title for how she works, but she is seemingly like a right hand of the court.
Oh, wasn't it like court wizard or something like that? It was something. Anyway, she introduced the court. She introduced the court to us, introduced us to the court, and walked out with Yassar, a man who seemingly has quite tense relations with a few people, who floated away in a power move. And we ended walking into Sinara Zinzara, the Sultana of Al-Kirat's chambers, as she bid us welcome to her court.
Absolutely. And how wonderful that court would be. All right, thank you for your recap, and we're just gonna dive right back in. And I'm very excited. Was there anything that anyone else wanted to top onto that, on what happened, who, what's, when, where's, why's, before we jump back in?
We were also told about Rashid, which is the Sultana's right-hand man, and if we use magic that we should talk to him, just to add that little bit on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Looking left, looking right, looking left, looking right.
I'm good.
Very well. Then we shall return to session.
RP question if you want.
Huh?
I said RP question too if
Nah,
you want.
we're too late. It's 20 minutes over. And
Too late, man.
that's my usual. My usual limit is if it's 20 minutes over, I don't do one.
That's
All
fair.
right. So as we
I hate
dive
it here.
back in, you see, as you all have entered, some of you for the first time, into Kirat, the thriving hub of commerce and law that stands in a gleaming jewel in this world. A diamond in the rough, even in this desert. You can see from the windows the elegantly cobbled streets shaded by flowing silks as you walk through the palace, which is less of one building and more of just one very large compound whose walls give it the illusion of one grand opulent palace. Instead, it is filled with shops and restaurants and marketplaces and offices, all through up and down. And here at the very top, past the public Zinzara Gardens, is the Ruby Court, with the majestic white stone spires, the breathtaking figures, and the endless markets brimming down below with trinkets and foods, and the rich aroma of the spices and incense swelling up to you even from here. But now as you enter, through the tall doors that creaked open, to a small but lively hall of tieflings, their expressions tense, as they clearly were either in an argument of recent or perhaps were shooed out very hastily. The vibrant carpet led to a staircase to this oversized wooden chair, richly cushioned, and a pale tiefling woman sat adorned it, with jewels and gold lavishing her worried gaze towards the silks in the window towards sunset, which is now dimming to the point of which the orange-purple auburn of dusk has begun to take over. She takes a small smoke from her decorated hookah, and beside her you see a stern tiefling man with strange affectations and almost like a dozen or more small little horns that never grew, dotting his bald, pale head, with a long, lavish gown of a dress, as it's very clear to you that he is not in royal attire either, despite this, especially for those of you that know the vizier, as this is an odd time for him to be awake. And he leans into her for a whisper, and you can see the translucent silk canopies, green ferns, which shine where they usually wouldn't in this desert, and the several guards of which the tieflings all regard you as you walk forward. Arano, some of them give you just like a short nod as they hold on to their kopeshes and spears. And once you are all noticed, she raises a hand to quiet the room and waves forward. What? Our guests are here. She then beckons you. Please, come closer. As this happens, who's leading this procession into the Ruby Court? What's your marching order, if you will?
I think Rahima would be second to last, or like somewhere in the back because she had to get dressed and such.
Angelique would probably also be last for that reason.
I feel like there's a moment of like very subtle shoulder checking between Rano and Cora.
Oh, it wouldn't become subtle. The second that you touch her shoulder, she will elbow you out of the fucking way.
You definitely catch a glint of distaste at your lack of being subtle. Like,
No
You
room
said
for
what you said.
subtleties and algebra.
You said what you said at the end last time, and
Oh, you're gonna have to remind me of that. I don't remember.
you were basically admonishing me for planning to take the fall. And then, in his own way, he was rebutting that and saying that it wasn't our fault we were attacked. That was just a little bit of tit-a-tat that we had.
When you
Wow,
see,
I don't remember that at all.
yeah, no,
It was-
you had a little conversation about who's going to take the fall and who shouldn't, and how you're going to progress to the Sultana. What happened? But the Sultana, seeing you elbow Arano, you would watch as she kind of like moves the hookah in front of her mouth. You guys can give me a seek or a sense motive.
Okay.
I was gonna say Ignis is with Saluna.
Okay, sounds good. Well, Zaluna's outside.
Yeah, she's holding him like a cat. So
Well, she would have had to let you go to let you come in here, I think.
okay.
I apologize. Which one of the two would you be on the shoulder of in here?
He'd be on whoever's in the back, so probably Angelique.
Okay, sounds good.
Angelique, an actual dragon is on your shoulder.
As you see the Sultana go to take a quick hit of the hookah, I'll DM one of you something. I won't tell you who though.
I will say now, before we get too far ahead, elbow may not have been the correct word. I don't mean for it to come out as like a violent, like, get the fuck out of my way type assault, but...
Kick to the balls. Like,
No.
I turn around and I kick him in the balls. No. Just more so like, if anything, she's surprised by the contact.
Okay. I didn't know if we would both be jockeying forward to first address.
No. I again, I don't remember arguing last time, but I definitely think that Cora would probably insist on like, hey, let me do the talking.
Yeah. I don't know that argue would be the right word. It was definitely like
A discussion.
a discussion amongst perspectives.
Yeah.
Okay, then I definitely got the wrong idea from that, because I was like, I don't think Cora would just be like, shut the fuck up, let me do it.
No, I used the wrong word. I'm sorry.
In whichever case, and seeing you two kind of like not have a bout, right in front of the Ruby Court, or like getting violent or anything like that, but clearly both of you have something you want to say first, to be the one to fall on the sword, or perhaps to get the news out first in whatever perspective you have. The Sultana like takes the hit of the hookah, and she instead speaks first before you guys can, after she says, please come closer. She then like, while it is good to see you, my dear friends and newcomers, I must admit your return to the Ruby Court is, in a word, unexpected this early. Before you tell me of grim tidings, as I know the set of Arano's jaw more than anyone else, and to have an arbiter in my court is an infrequent time. Though I do bid you great respect, Cora Nubasath, I must ask who you've brought with you. Witnesses? Prisoners? They seem finely dressed for such an occasion.
They wanted to make a good impression.
Have them step forward, then.
Kind of disarmed at this moment with the turnabout. He was on a one-track mind. He'll gesture forward for Rahima first.
Yeah, Rahima will step up.
Rahima, you see this woman stare at you. You know, she's got the all black sclera and like these glowing eyes that stare at you. And the enormity of her power is not lost on you in this place. You know, the difference in
Yes.
power. However, when she looks at you, she gives you a warm smile and kind of a little kind of looks you up and down. Do you look uncomfortable? And would you like to describe the dress that you picked? Or
Sure.
whatever garb you've
pardon.
taken.
I think that Rahima would probably feel the most comfortable in something a bit more loosely flowing. Maybe something like a nice, like, vibrant sari or something like that. Unfortunately, I didn't like think of a like full description for it, but she is finely dressed right now, as was the protocol that she was told to. She doesn't look uncomfortable per se. She actually looks very like fascinated almost. She's like giving her like full attention, but sometimes her eyes do wander like around the room, like to all the different fineries and stuff like that.
She looks up and down, and then she will say, "That is one of Morgiana's, is it not?"
Yes. I was told that I should probably dress well for the occasion, and I didn't bring anything like that with me.
The vizier lets out this like really, really, really big yawn. Like really exaggerated, but not like annoyed or anything. You just think he's really tired as he sits there for a second. And you see him like stretch his fingers for her when he does so. And then he kind of gives a nod and says, as he begins to take a couple steps towards you, his long kind of bed robes kind of coming forward, he says, "Yes, such delicate meetings require delicate garb. I imagine you are here to breach some quite troublesome news.
Yes. Pardon, sorry.
No. The Sultana kind of gives like a look up and down, but while you begin to say that, the Sultana says, "Are you wounded? I can see. Do you?" And you see she goes to flick a hand towards a guard for help.
Oh, no, pardon me. This is a, I suppose it would be side effect of a, she like tries to think of a like equivalent word. My familiar. Yes, my familiar, we have a very strong soul bond. Something very bad happened to him out in the sands, and I'm not in any pain or danger. But until I get him back, I must deal with these wounds.
The Sultana gives a nod of understanding, and the vizier says, "I only experience such wounds to my spirit, not my body. Perhaps you are in need of aid in your familiar pact."
It should be of no trouble to me, but thank you.
He
It is not a pact.
Could Cora sense motive that really quick?
on the vizier?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. You sense an innate curiosity in a form of familiar that causes pain, the loss of it. You likely think that he has a familiar and does not suffer such things, and thus is offering to help fix that. And he saw
but it's
he
like
saw it
a
as a problem.
genuine help. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like opportunistic.
Correct. Anything that you could like drop in that, but clearly, you know, the vizier is the magic leader of Kirat, right? The most powerful magic caster, or at least the leader of it. He seems to be offering this to Rahima on first meeting, which probably catches you off guard a little bit, right?
Hey man, I'm just glad we're not having a Jafar situation.
The Sultana nods.
Never heard somebody goodwill described as a vizier.
The Sultana like gives a nod and says, "You are spoken very highly of in my court. I'll have you know. This may be your first time meeting me, but it is not my first time hearing of you, but I doubt that is any surprise. I thank you for your journey, and I am sorry it is cut short. I have funded so much for this expedition, and yet you are here in front of me, and I am curious to see as to why. Considering that Orano has not breached forward and shouted, I do not think this is a matter of which can be fixed tonight. Thus, I hope you forgive my lack of, She, like, takes a small, like, hand and kind of waves her hand forward as though she's quite tired before she says, urgency.
No, I mean, it is as you say. This is not something that can be fixed immediately, unfortunately.
And who is this? We are great friends of the orcs of Ogrila, and have made quite a recent pact for the chance to visit Ankara, the Great Pyramid of which you uncovered. But I am not familiar with this human you've brought here.
I'll look back to Angelique.
Yeah. I hear her kind of under her breath. Shit. She'll step forward.
The hat and the dress is certainly a choice.
Yeah,
if you want to describe.
Feel like yeah, sure. She's in something akin to a sundress. It's white, it's long, it's flowy. It gives certainly a better view of the massive centipede tattoo snaking from one side of her neck down her back, around her front, and curling near her stomach. And she also still is wearing the hat, the glasses, and what is probably maybe a little concerning to the rest of you, the holsters for her weapons and the guns. She refused to part with them. So imagine somebody wearing a belt holster and chest holster over a sundress. And that's sort of the vibe here.
I do not believe I know of you.
The name's Angelique. I was recruited by Orano to help out with the expedition, that's all.
There's like a pause, and then you see the Sultana look over at you, Orano.
He doesn't avert his gaze. He has been holding it squarely 2 inches above Zanara's head.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see him working his jaw, just clenched hard, and he relents and lowers his eyes to hers. Hired help. Someone with a vested interest.
You hear the deep intake of a breath. It is not from Sultana, it is from the Vizier. He, like, comes inches away from you, Angelique. Unmistakable. Changeable. You have such a subtle, distinct sound. You are friends of Yassar, are you not? He pulls away.
Yet. Says shit a little louder this time. Yeah, he performed a favor for me, to put it lightly. And now he expects work from me in return.
A favor from a being like that is dangerous, but a deal that the Sultana has also worked through. Your great wisdom, then, to be able to part such a deal we, the Ruby Court, have been able to as well. She'll be a great ally after all. He
Yeah, maybe.
kind of begins to walk away, but you can see his gleaming red eyes are looking at the weapons at your side when he does so.
Can I sense motive what he said about
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the scent, or am I getting that he was referencing, hey, you smell like Yassar?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure. Or was he just being a fucking weirdo?
There is a big weirdo energy. I will tell you that up front. There is he came inches away from you and he sniffed very, very close. Like there
Yeah, she definitely like you like back your head a little bit.
Yeah. You do get one thing. It was completely nothing to do with you as a person. It had everything to do with your scent in some other form. When he said scent, it was similar to how someone would say, like, from people that, like tracks. You know what I mean? Your tracks mark things. You don't know this person, but the Vizier of Kirat is a well-known figure, and you'd probably imagine he magically somehow has sussed you out, whether through the designs on your side or even the scent of the gunfire recently. And has clocked you on both fronts. He does not seem to think that is a negative. He seems to be very forward with an interested that you would be willing to make such a thing, and thus you could be of great use.
I think of everyone here, Orano is probably the easiest one for you to read, Angelique, just from the amount of comparative interactions we've had together and how plain-faced of a person he is. Nothing about this was unexpected. There was an almost long-suffering stillness and acceptance of letting the new specimen be inspected, like he was prepared for the interruption. This didn't seem like this was unexpected behavior that was displayed.
Gotcha.
Rashid, I thank you for your stalwartness, but they are here for a discussion of great importance. Your assistant Morgiana expressed that, did she not? Rashid gives a bow to the Sultana and kind of slinks back to her. And you see he like sits there for a second and he goes to like grab something that's close by or to call something to like help calm nerves. And when he does so, there's nothing there. And you can see he's absently trying to figure out what to do with his hands. He starts to like put them in different positions for a second before he finally settles. The Sultana then leans forward and says, I know the rest of you quite well, but it is good to see you. Now that introductions are done and we are on a forward-facing manner, I've had a very long day. As you know, this is the very same noon that I sent you into these wastes with a full expedition. And I saw from this towering peak not but only a few return. This is the first interruption in all of the expeditions, and I would very much care to know what has happened. Please be as thorough as possible.
I think Cora would step forward at this, give like a bow of her head in respect. My lady, as you know, when we left on our expedition, we were many. The caravan was... We were, in very short order, attacked by the sands, by harpies, by king. We suffered some casualties then, but the harpies kidnapped some of the scholars, including Rumble, and carried them to another location.
You see a scowl go across her face of worry. The Vizier is completely stone-faced.
We were able to track the harpies to a camp of what appeared to be cultists performing some kind of profane rite. I regret that we slaughtered many of them with the intent to keep some. for questioning. But there was too much blood spilled. The sands were upon us. We saved as many scholars as we could. Do I remember how many got out of there? I think it was literally only one.
There was one. Two, if you include Rahima.
Yeah. And she actually says, like, this is very, she is, like, visibly...
Yeah.
I wouldn't say distraught, but, like...
Frustrated.
You know, she's having to come to mom and tell her that she made a very big oopsie.
Got it.
Seeing you kind of go for a second, she just kind of gives you a nod as though she's not upset with you, but she does take a hit of the hookah.
Mm-hmm. We recovered only one scholar from the incident. There was no sign of Rumbold. We got some information that he had been taken elsewhere. But we are still working on those leads.
You used to...
I think she would... Oh, sorry.
No, you got...
I was just gonna say, I think she would also mention, details about the temple itself. It seemed to be very, like, obviously a Nubian in origin.
Mm-hmm.
She would describe sea snakes a bit, and, like, whatever ritual he was performing. Cora would gesture at Rahima, because I think you found out more about what exactly that ritual kind of entailed, right? Like, that's how we escaped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rahima finished the damn thing.
Yeah.
Would Rahima
Cora...
use that forward to that, or?
Yes.
I think Cora would include that.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Just kind of like gesturing at Rahima to be like, yeah, we would not probably have made it out there alive if not for Rahima's intervention. But yeah, thumbs up, Baji.
She says, "You say they did a profane ritual. Do you believe them to be Nubian cultists, fanatics?"
No. Cora says this a little too quickly.
How many were there? All beastfolk?
No. Nope. Only the harpies. I think there were tieflings.
There was also a lizardfolk, I believe. He was the leader.
Yeah, the sea snakes. I already mentioned.
She nods.
Oh, pardon, sorry.
No, you're good.
She nods, and you see worry kind of goes across her face. Tieflings, criminals from outside of our city walls, exiled?
Cora kind of takes a breath, and you can see her shoulders and the armor just kind of like heave. They were of Kirat, my lady.
Ranu is flinty at this, and his eyes are going back and forth as different people start speaking up. He definitely looks like he's holding something back.
She leans back a little bit, thinking on that. Displaced, perhaps, from the Beast Wars? Maybe in trouble for coin?
They were flush with coin in that camp. We recovered some of the treasure.
There's a confusion that begins to grow across her face. And you can tell that she's taking this as a betrayal. But not as a betrayal of them, but of herself to her people.
GM, how many other people are in this particular room with us?
4. 2 guards, 2 servants. Or, well, workers, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would it be within my authority to gesture towards the others to leave?
Absolutely.
Okay. I would dismiss the 2 guards. We're in good hands here, and then the 2 workers. And then when they leave, go ahead.
They leave quickly and give you a nod of respect and approval. The servants themselves, recognizing that the guards were leaving, were already packing up the fruits and whatnot that they had, leaving them on tables, and then pushing past Ferns to leave the room, closing the door behind them.
Rana's eyes will pass over the rest of the collective group here with us before turning back to the Sultana. They call themselves Dreamers of the Whisper. What? And he locks eyes with Cora for a second. We were known. They knew to target our specific section of the caravan.
Cora nods.
They were looking for Rumble specifically.
Kill them.
No.
Scholars. Then why is it that
Take-
only one has returned? Arano? Cora?
She had already explained that they spilled blood a little recklessly.
Yeah.
and yeah.
You can see she's trying to piece it together. She's like reaffirming in why would they do that? Like why is that? It kind of hits her, you spilled too much blood. She looks confused. I did not. If they were my people and the people of this great jewel, they should be of. She kind of looks over to the vizier and then looks back towards you guys and says, perhaps they were just confused under some enchantment. But if... She shakes her head. If you deem them corrupt to die, then I will not counter you on that. It is not my place against an arbiter.
I think... Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, she trails off in that, because you would come to the realization, Cora, that she knows, as a devotee of Asmodeus, that the death penalty is not given out in the city,
Yeah. I think Cora would sort of interject. So I would say this in character, but me no articulate very good right now.
Okay.
She would say mostly that. All right, sorry, I'm trying to piece it together.
You're all good.
The attack was coordinated in a way that the first blow was theirs. They somehow managed to set up a precise strike on our part of the caravan. They knew exactly where we would be. They had the intent to kill anyone who was not the scholars they were trying to take. Because if you're sticking the will of the sands on people, then that's how she would interpret that, Cora herself. She will be quick to not correct the Sultana, but say that it is her failing as an arbiter to allow what happened at that camp to come to pass the way that it did. They had the lives of the remaining scholars, except for Rumbold, in hand. They could have maybe found a way to extract mostly peacefully. But the retaliation was a reaction, and so she will insist on taking that failing as hers.
You see she nods and thinks carefully. You can see the Sultan is also doing her best not to if it was the people of Al-Kirat that did this, not just beastfolk, this seems to be unprecedented, right? And that
Yes.
clearly is confusing her, but she'll shake her head and say, they were unified with beastfolk who likely were within our city walls, or perhaps had been out in the buttes as well. This temple radicalized them. This is beyond their own thoughts. This is beyond our own understanding at the moment. We should not shoulder any blame that we cannot handle right now. And any faults that you believe that you have been placed upon yourself, nor the will of the sands being sicked unto the caravan. It should not have been done during the day. It should not have happened during the day. Thus I, of course, suspect what you believe, that Rumbolt Tomekeeper was the true target all along, and that we cannot have known. Though I regret to think that perhaps if I had looked deeper or seen more from my people, I would have seen it. I would have very much liked to have brought some of these cultists home, so that the Vizier could interrogate them, or the church, but in lieu of that, we will have to do what we can. And what we can is attempt to right this wrong. You believe Rumbolt is alive, correct?
Cora nods. They very specifically mentioned taking him to another place. His knowledge is what they see.
She nods.
Ronald holds up his hand with a platinum band around his middle finger. The buttes.
She nods.
For what? From what we could determine, the magics were being toyed with. It seems the sands themselves want him there and try to obscure the sigil.
Your supple and bloodthirsty grip, Baron Karakate, will guide the will to send you to where of which that weapon could be brandished at the most fervent measure. Do not trust the magics that even I have gifted you, not in that wasteland.
He nods, but then sets his gaze again. Someone talked. They knew where to hit. They knew who to take, what part of the train he was with. Someone talked. We may have more in the city itself.
She nods. Very well. I am stuck on a counterfront of 3 measures. My friends, the expedition must finish. There has been too much levied on it, and though I could survive taking the hit of the entire expedition's paying and their return at safe measure and at cost and still be able to provide as I do, it would be a dour strike to our city. It is not my priority, however, it is something I wish to recover. I will help the people, the rest of the expedition, refill their caravans, replenish their camels, and ready them for the expedition for once you recover Rumbolt, Tomekeeper. Rahima, do you believe that you could replace Rumbolt's expertise in hieroglyphics in the Nubian Empire?
Not entirely. I know the basics, but he had a much more complete understanding of the language and the... Yes.
And you will need to be there as well. Without both of you, it is lost, correct?
She nods.
I have an offer, then. If you are confident that you, together, could right this wrong and return Rumbolt with the help that I can provide you, we must ensure the expedition continues on time. I will pay for guides. The expedition will leave tomorrow. As for you, however, Rumbolt being so crucial, I want to give you as much time as possible to recover him while also being able to make it to Ankara. Are you aware of my Skylark project? She leans forward.
Can I recall knowledge?
Absolutely. Any of you can.
Let's
Listen.
do that. Let's all think, gang.
Think closely and carefully.
Any warfare lore?
Absolutely would help here.
Okay. Well, do I need to reroll or just gonna take the DC adjustment?
How low? You don't need to reroll. Are you not worried about hero points, right? This is just you want to take the DC adjustment.
Yeah.
Cool. Arano, you do not know of such a project. Perhaps it's not in your purview. Perhaps it has been refitted for something that doesn't include war. Cora, you're aware of the name, but not aware of its purpose. Only that one of the vizier's apprentices is, or one of the vizier's old apprentices, a powerful mage, is in charge of it. You remember seeing documents about it within the temple. As for you, Ignis, there is a mention that came to you in your clinic whenever a wounded engineer came in with a great a wound. It was akin to their entire like palm skin being completely dusted off, as though a sandstorm like shaved it off in an instant. And they expressed great levity in it, and they were fully paid for and covered by you. But they, whenever asked about it, you remember them saying something about something called the Skylark, a project that they're working on.
Gotcha.
Rahima and Angelique, you both know exactly what that is. Angelique, through your own sources, you're aware that the city of Kirat has been trying to get means of traversing the wasteland without being in danger of beastfolk attack and without threat of the Will of the Sands, the skeletons and whatnot, right? And thus, they wish to circumvent all of that. And if this project was to complete, that is what it would be. It is some kind of ship in the river that is able to harness the power of the sands, the winds, the earth, something all at once to be able to sail over top of the desert. Rahima, you've also very much heard of this project because a lot of its funding is coming from your organization.
Oh, yes. Is this this is a boat, right? To get around the sands. Or to not have to deal with them, if I remember correctly.
The Sultana nods.
Flying over it. That's pretty clever.
She smiles a little bit in like the levity of the dark news that she's just gotten, right? And she says, yes, it has recently returned from a voyage in secret, actually. One that that the Vizier was able to help forward push while the other expeditions were on their way. It was able to deliver supplies and check up on those in Kunitan Keep. However, in its speed and hastiness and its use of its fuel source, it does require repairs. And I am willing to forward an exorbitant amount of money in order to repair it in time. With it, you would be able to make it to Kunitan Keep in time, no matter if it took you a few days to find Rumbold. I am willing to clear it for flight, putting my resources towards it, if you can find him.
Be done.
We would be honored.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a plan.
She nods. I hope that would be able to beat the expedition back on track, if but only a day late. However, I wish to put my resources further for this. You'll be given a stipend of coin in order to gather resources needed, but I am going to offer a contract to Delira. She is the leader of the guild. Was one of the few members that has stayed behind from the expedition, but I believe that their pulse has been on the city's ground far more than ours has been of recent, and thus might be able to have seen some kind of oddities that we are looking for this particular cult that you speak of.
I think, Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Cora would also request if they could have Callista along again, as she was a great help.
She kind of like nods, and she is the one with the axe, I believe, yes?
Cora nods.
I've heard of her work. She has brought me bandit heads.
Angelique kind of rubs the
So,
side and back of her
several
neck.
She nods and says, I had recently put up a bounty for those that were attacking caravans. Not beastfolk heads, but human heads. Callista is the name I keep seeing popping up whenever I'm paying that gold forward. Now, I wish to contract you, as well as your church, Cora, if they're willing to provide any useful details. You, out of game, you haven't brought up Grigori, right?
That's just an oversight on my part. That would have been one of the first things.
Okay.
She mentioned. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
That was kind of what I was like. Rano stares at you, wondering if you're just playing coy.
No.
We're gonna take care of it in the
Unfortunately,
church.
Cora's player has severe memory loss.
No, it's okay. That's okay. That's why I wanted to above table recognize that in me. So she'll say, I also wish to provide a heavy donation to the church for this cause. I will provide a mercenary contract to each of you who are not a part of the church, including you, Arano, as I believe you are too close to this to have you stay behind. As well as I will provide a mercenary contract to the guild. You'll be working side by side with them, or at least you should be able to claim any resources from them as needed, rather than having to come back to me, which I believe I am far too busy to be able to help on a day-to-day basis, and my adventuring days are long behind me. As an additional reward, for those of you that are new here, as well as for you, Arbiter and Arano, as well as you, my dear Ignis, I will offer a personal petition for you to save Rumbold, to save this expedition. I believe in its purity, and I believe what grand designs it could bring for Kirat. If you are willing, you may ask me any favor of your choosing upon completion of returning Rumbold to me and the expedition being completed. If you prefer, however, not to have such a request, I will instead offer you up to 300 gold pieces, if that is preferable.
Thank you very much. That is very generous of you.
She will nod, and she will look across you, and she says, Do you have a deal?
Cora nods.
I would be happy to accept, yes.
Angelique nods.
Nod.
Ignis has had his head bowed, but he does a slight nod.
She gives you a lean forward, Ignis, and says, Consider this your leave to be able to exit the city. Ignis, next time please just ask.
Sorry.
She has this kind of stare at you for a second before she finally looms backwards into her chair and says, waves a hand, Morgiana. And you would see, kind of shuffling in, definitely having been listening the entire time from behind the door, Morgiana kind of shuffles in and already has pouches of gold ready with symbols on them from the Ruby Court, as well as begun writing a petition and contract for you all. Cora, she begins to lay it out and whatnot, and I'll leave the details for that to be another time, but she will say, Lastly, I wish to offer the aid of the Vizier in your search. Rashid, please aid them in any manner that you can right now. If that is everything, I have a lot of things to discuss with many people and to get a better pulse in my city, if that's all right.
Of course.
Yeah, Cora would nod, bow once again in respect, and then she's gonna beeline to the church.
That's fair. Rashid does give a bow and stands right beside you, Cora, as you're bowing, and says,
Oh, good heavens.
"Of course, my
Please don't spare me.
Sultana. If all of you would follow me to my chambers, I believe I know exactly how to find Rumbold and end this investigation."
Fear.
Sounds good.
It will but
Toronto's
only take a
nonplussed
moment.
and just continues.
And as soon as it's done, oh, I can have my nap. And he, begins to turn towards you, Cora, and say, "If you are needed within your temple, I would not abide you to stay. However, I do believe you will be seeing Rumbold in my reflection I'll be having soon. If you want to see how he's doing."
Yeah, I think she would.
He gives kind of a smile and he says, "Good." He steeples his fingers and says, "Follow me, Sultan." He gives a bow and he will begin to exit with a flourish of his bedroom robes. I assume you guys will all follow with him?
Yeah.
Does anyone say anything last to the Sultana, who begins to look towards the window? And in the time that you guys have been in here, it's become completely dark.
I'm okay.
I
Oh,
think
has it?
Arano wouldn't say anything. He would make sure that everyone else is out. And he would just kind of... For as flinty and as broad-chested and as... We're all about business here. He was previously. He does kind of deflate a little bit, and his eyes say, "I'm sorry," more than his mouth will before he turns and leaves.
She gives you a look whenever you leave, and it's not one of... Give me a sense motive. I'm gonna see if you misread this, because you definitely can misread this. What's about to happen? You see a grievous worry in her eyes for Rumbold, and it is taxing on her. It's something you caused.
And in a moment of letting that sink in, that failure hardens and steels into a will to get it done and fixed. And he'll turn and leave at that.
As you leave, the Sultana takes one more hit of the hookah, and she quietly lets out one last breath before you leave her chambers. As you do so, you hear from beside you as the doors... And instead of leaving back out to the Zanzara Gardens, you're led into a small hallway on the offshoot of the Ruby Court, where you can see a stairwell leads and descends downwards, down into the lower level of the palace. Not but a few steps away, you know that the Vizier's laboratory is here in... it's not his great tower, which is in the north side of Al-Kirat, but it's like that. But as you're descending down the stairs, you hear... Angelique, was it?
Yeah.
Your growing sense of the dark is... Kind of sits for a second and thinks for a word. Exquisite. Why are you so worried of the lack of sunlight?
Just a bad feeling. It's nothing. Superstition. You know.
You walk by where you can see that there is this long white stone hallway with silks kind of flowing over the top where people would be walking up and down very recently, especially people that are close to the Centaur family. When this happens, you can see that one of them is like glass shuttered closed and there's a long curtain robe. And when you walk past it and like look away from the vizier, wondering what is it that he's seeing in you in this moment, right? In that moment when you do so, you swear you see this like strange flowing, this light beginning to dance behind your head. Another member in your group that you do not see close by you. Do you look towards the glass?
Yes.
When you do so, you see a swirling, flowing silk that's just covering this door, and you see a young tiefling kind of like confused with darker blue skin kind of just shudder it.
She'd stop and kind of stare for a moment.
Who's behind you?
I imagine Arano, since it sounded like he stayed behind to have that like last exchange with the Sultana. So I'd imagine Arano.
Okay. Not agree.
You bump right into Angelique.
Sorry.
Getting lost.
Something like that. She sounds not afraid, not worried, but something maybe adjacent, like she's expecting something. An anticipation in her voice.
Can I trace back where her gaze was going towards?
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine she didn't stop looking in that direction.
What do I see?
Nothing but a woman that looked weirded out that there was this person staring into their closed shop. You can see that they have a small little this is a warehouse for many of the foods and wines that are given in the Ruby Court, as well as around to other shops. It's up here very high because it's easier for access for Morgiana and the like. Morgiana is also close up coming behind you.
Keep your hands to yourself.
What?
No sticky fingers.
What? No.
You can
it
eat
wasn't.
later. We're on the way out.
Sure. She'll walk forward.
Kind of like being ushered along, you could see that there is a very what is referred to as his laboratory, quickly tucked into the side of a small room. We can see he has this like veil of curtains, which as Rashid walks through, he lets out a and you see it changes color and it seems to let you guys through. And doesn't Arana, you've seen it. The curtains here are enchanted to suffocate people who try to come in without wanting or warning. He very lackadaisically does it just before Cora walks through.
Yeah. I think for his own part, when it's Arano's turn to walk through, I think he kind of takes a breath, steals himself, and then walks through and okay.
Yeah, you've seen it. It's awful. It's awful every time, the gasps, all of that.
Yeah.
But the vizier kind of ushers you guys through, and you can see the room is a chaotic mess of scattered papers covered in arcane scribblings, crystal vials filled with liquids of varying colors, bubbling alembics emitting strange smells, and like bookshelves crammed with volumes on local history, magical treatises, and philosophy. And you would hear lazily on one of the tables near one of the alembics, like that's bubbling and like has something like pressing against it. You'd see a chubby, wrinkly sphinx cat look up.
Oh my god!
And you see his hands finally open, and he goes, "Come, Salem, come." And you'd see hopping in, wrinkled in and held close. He turns around, and of course, you know this to be his familiar, Salem.
Look at that
What a
chubby
time for
little
Salem.
Just-
yeah, what a time for Salem to step away. Yeah,
It was just for the costume change.
That's right. It's costume changes.
I see.
You see Pet Salem and like the wrinkled face, but you see they're like nowhere happier to be. And he looks down and you can see that there is a plate beside where Salem was sitting, and there is this big chunk of red meat, thick cut, has some fatty on the side, completely uncooked. And you would watch as the vizier reaches down when it's been nibbled on by Salem, and he just takes a chunk of it and
Here we go.
and he eats into the red meat. And then he lets out another, "Oh, you must forgive me. This is not our usual time of being awake, is it, Salem?" And, you know, the cat, like...
Oh yeah, you just got back.
Uh-huh.
The cat is named Salem.
They let out a hiss and at towards the group of you guys, and you see the vizier go, Now, Salem, it is guests here, guests. There is no need to be so aggressive. Yes, it is well before we are supposed to awaken, but soon we will be back to sleep, and then we will awaken again. Yes. Just kind of sits there and begins poring over small papers. What are you guys doing as you look around this chaotic laboratory that you've invaded upon his familiar?
Arano is cross-armed and standing off to the side. None of this seems out of the ordinary. And again, just long suffering, having dealt with this man's peculiarities for a long time.
Would Cora know of this cat?
Oh, yeah. He doesn't go very many places without Salem.
I want to pet the little naked ham. I want to pet him.
The undercooked chicken.
Yes.
Do you move forward?
I would ask if I could pet him.
Rashid kind of looks at you and he says, "You wish to pet my familiar? An extension of me?"
Okay, well, now I'm no longer interested.
He looks at you and he holds out Salem.
Alright, I'm gonna pet the cat anyway.
Delicately.
I mean, stop.
That's what he says. That's his.
I know,
Yeah.
but just you. And I mean, I think Cora would do that anyway, considering she has literal fucking talons for hands, just like with the side of one of her claws, just kind of like screech.
The moment you like get close, Salem goes and smacks at your claw.
No.
And then he goes, Now, Salem, be kind. These are guests. Can you not sense an arbiter of Asmodeus? Do you wish to be jailed?
I'm not gonna imprison the cat.
You know, Salem
Put him in jail.
looks up and then like looks back at you and go, puts the head down towards you as though, yeah, go for it.
Oh, I don't want to pet him if he doesn't want to be pet. That'd be mean.
He just kind of sits there awkwardly. He goes, "You are welcome to pet Salem."
I will scritch very gently behind one of his ears.
Good. You scratch it and you see her Salem go. Just like a little meh. At it.
I think Angelique would try to pet the cat too.
He looks over and sees Go on.
Yeah, she'd reach out to try to scratch the cat's head.
Cat slashes out at you.
Yeah, that makes sense. She'll back off.
You must forgive Salem. They have my temperament to physical contact.
Fair.
Then. You see he goes over to, as he like puts down Salem, and Salem goes and just starts eating from the same bite mark where Vizier was eating the red raw meat. And as he just begins to tear into it. Less like a cat and more like a animal, you know, just going at it. Like biting it down. At that happening, he finds a curtain, this like strange, billowy, like red, beautiful threadbare, not like a curtain for a doorway, but more like this like grand opulent cover. And you can tell that it has like sigils and symbols, and it's got these reds and blues that are in it. And he like takes a hand and whispers, "Askatai," and throws it off. And he does it in a flourish. And you would see underneath is this strange mirror with spikes indentating the golden outline of it. You see a devil's head imprinted on the side. In the middle of the devil's forehead is a great eye. You have to forgive the quality of the photo, however, but you get the picture.
Oh. Portrait in a
Crusty.
point and click game, yeah.
You see he gestures towards it and says, "If we are all prepared, and I may have rest after this vision."
I think we're as prepared as we can be.
Yeah.
Good. Good. It is a shame that you did not bring back the scholar. If you did, a reflection in the mirror could have revealed all we could know of the cultist. But that isn't an option. He looks towards Cora and Arano, specifically.
I don't roll my eyes, but I think about doing it really hard.
Looks at you, Cora. Huh?
Yeah, fuck it.
Ready. Bring them to me then, and we will continue. He smiles. I promise they will be unharmed.
What am I bringing them?
Oh, he said, bring me the surviving scholar, and we could see more in this mirror than what even he could.
Oh, when they're done resting, maybe they've been through a lot.
But you can arrange it.
I could ask. And she very pointedly says, ask.
He thinks on that for a moment. Yeah, enter to my laboratory whenever they are done resting, and I will extract what I can for your investigation. Now then, he like puts himself in front of the mirror. He unbuttons his Asmodean bedroom robes, and he stands in front of it, and he looks and rolls his neck. Devil's mirror, forged in hellfire, reveal the truth that I desire. Show me the scholar, bound and lost, rumbled tombkeeper, whatever the cost. He waves his hand in front of it, and you'd see the eye in the forehead of the devil roll back into its own skull. The whole mirror begins to shift into different environments that you do not recognize. He then waves for you all to come look into the mirror.
I will approach.
A burst of hellfire warms you, even though it is not producing out of the mirror. It's like you're in a window itself, if that makes sense. That almost throws off of your guys' faces for a moment and threatens to burn your eyebrows, where she just kind of stares into it. Is anyone not looking into the mirror? Okay, sounds good.
I have approached you.
As it engulfs itself in hell flames, you see begin to stretch and move and begin to change before eventually it finally stops as it hardens in this strange, almost stone-like apparatus, and you begin to see it. Sprawling murals etched with ancient hieroglyphics. The ancient language of the long-fallen Nubian Empire comes into view. And an old, portly tiefling that you recognize standing in front of it. You see the tiefling is hunched over. You see he looks up and looks down and then holds the parchment up against the side of it and begins to sketch onto it in haste. Around him, you see more of the scene beginning to grow. You see statues of serpents. The murals themselves teem with hieroglyphics of snakes. You see from the ceiling red sand pouring down into this room, inches away from his body, forming onto harmless red piles on the stone floor. Vizier rolls his neck to get a better view. I assume you all are looking. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Anything about the surroundings that might tip off, location to be more exact?
Yeah, that.
Okay. The Vizier seems to have a similar eye, and he kind of begins to peer. He presses his hand against the mirror and almost begins to influence it in some way, or try to get more of an image of the rest of the area to for lack of a better term, zone outwards, because clearly the target of this visage that the mirror is showing you is the back of Rumbold and this area. And you see, as he puts his hand forward, the sensor and the mirror is cracked. When this happens, you see kind of phasing through into your room in the laboratory, a stone hand made of cracked, broken pieces of statues begins to reach inward. You see it drags the mirror away from Rumbold and turns to look the mirror in the eyes, revealing more of these statues and motifs and the cracked roof and this green tint that fills this area of green flames. And you see the face of some monstrous horned humanoid figure, entirely made out of stone with jagged wings that are barely being held together, curled horns, and more than anything, deep within its chest, this glowing, massive amber orb full of golden light. There is a low, and it twists its hand, and the mirror cracks and goes blank.
Would I have recognized that statue?
I can show you what it looks like if you'd like.
Yay!
Woohoo.
I wish to see the baby.
Yeah.
I wish to see the baby.
Wish to see
the baby. Wish to see the baby.
It shouldn't tell you guys anything about it.
Wow.
No, not at all.
Oh, that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
That is a baller.
You can roll me a recall knowledge if you wish, seeing that figure. And you see the Vizier kind of is pushing his hand back, and you see annoyedly there's a gash of a sliced gash across his face. He's not bleeding from it or anything, but you can see the seam of it.
Heavens. Let me see.
I fear we've lost the Salem.
No, we should go to break or something like that in a second here. getting a little bit early just to make sure they can be around. But Orano, you kind of take a moment, and you've seen figures like this before. You've never seen them moving around like this, right? You don't know of anything that has moved like that during the Beast Wars, but clearly it is some bestial humanoid it's showing, right? That is not a tiefling body, that it is a statue of. However, I think that you would put two and two together as you look at it, and you recognize the orb in its chest is the same amber you've seen Rahima carry, and Cora has also in their chest. It would stand to reason for you, with your lore, that this thing is an inanimate object that has become animate and sentient and quite magically powerful. Beyond that, you have not seen anything like this before. For you, Cora, there's the similarity that you see, but you do not know what this thing is. The same goes for Angelique, and the same goes for Ignis.
Gotcha.
The Vizier puts a hand towards like his cheek where he was slashed in some way by this creature, like doing this breaking of this vision. And as he puts his hand up towards it, you see the seam fold in, and he heals immediately. Yes, it would seem all I could show you. In another, and perhaps not such a creature close by, I could have revealed its location. How unfortunate. But I am glad to have been of aid.
Indeed. We'll leave you to your rest.
You are aware of the creature, then?
Not in its animated state, no. But I've seen ones like it before.
And we are of similar thought. This being I have seen before, though not of that head shape. I have seen old Nubian warriors in stone entombed with this substance bore in their chest, often taken by tomb raiders, broken into like morsels of meat or eggs to be broken for their yolks. But I have never seen one living before. It was within the wasteland, underground. That is all I can be of use to you.
If anything else that comes up requiring your expertise, we will be sure to call upon you.
He kind of gives a hand and says, "Now I must rest. My time of waking is not for a few more hours, but I am happy to have been of use. Morgiana will give you your stipend." He waves you guys to leave.
And I'll turn and walk away.
Okay.
Same for Cora.
Angelique will turn and then stop at the curtains. Or no, she doesn't know anything about that. She walks through them.
Sounds good. You walk through them not knowing their horror. If it was any other day, or if he was just a little bit too groggy to have disarmed them. And you guys each make your way out into the hallway where Morgiana waits you. You see she sits there with her hooded robe, the marker in her head, and you see she holds out her hands. And she holds out the satchel and says, "This is 20 gold for each of you. Anything that would need supplies, lodging, food, and additional equipment you may need. I hope you understand it is generous, and it comes from the Vizier. Also a gift from the Vizier is this. And you see she holds out a small jewel.
Oh.
Do I
Yay,
recognize
jewelry.
this type of jewel?
It is an earring. You can place it within, pierce the ear. Whoever blood it is attached to will be able to. And she, if it was any other person, you'd think that, she's like rolling back, like putting her hair back behind her ear. But she just kind of exposes back behind the green hair, and you see she has a very similar earring that's like pierced in. It will be able to transfer a message to me once per day. It cannot recover within the wasteland, though, so make it count.
Is this
Useful.
an earring for each of us, or just the one earring?
One earring.
Mm-hmm.
It would seem the Vizier thinks that this is a worthwhile endeavor. She gives you a smile. Please contact me if you have any questions or need to report anything. I'll make sure to let the Vizier know as soon as possible if he's not awake. He has an odd sleeping schedule.
I believe the word is corpuscular.
Oh, you noticed. She will.
Hard to miss.
She nods. Isn't it interesting? And in any
Yes,
case,
Moria.
she gestures and says, unless you need me to take you anywhere else.
We will let you know if we do. Thank you.
I have already contacted Delira Tamira. She is aware of it, and whether you wish to wait for tomorrow or tonight, she has already begun gathering everything that she could find on the cult and anything that could be useful to you. She gives you all a bow. You see the mark in her head flares for a second as she leans downwards in the darkness in these halls.
Ron will do simple nod, take the coin that is offered, and we'll leave.
Make sure
Take the coin.
each of you can mark 20 gold pieces.
Yay.
Wow.
And you guys are free to go.
How exciting.
Wowie.
20 money.
20 gold.
Money. 20 money.
Oh.
Were we gonna take a break here? Or do you want to get us to another
I
scene?
think it's a good idea to take a break here.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Let's take a quick 15-minute break and we'll get back to it.
Yay.
All right. I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, we'll be here.
All right. And we return back to Kirat. And let us go there. All right. With your meeting in the Ruby Court done and the assistance of the Vizier of Kirat himself's aid, as well as his cat Salem, you guys were able to leave with everything you've gotten. You have a contract of which, Cora, you have in hand. That is for the church to be given to someone to sign, as well as each of you have been contracted by the Sultana. The writing of which will likely come pretty soon, but most of you know the Sultana's word is pretty much her bond. So, you've been given the information. You're aware that you have allies in this investigation, and you have, you know that the Sultana is going to work very, very diligently to make sure that this Skylark project is repaired in time to get you guys back to Kuniten Keep quick. Once you're able to return Rumbled Tomekeeper to your and Alkirat's possession. But with the mysterious figure in mind, and with you guys walking, we'll say that you guys are like on the outside of the palace stairs, where like how I was saying, you're like outside as you're going down a couple of the levels. You can see the light that has been dimming in the horizon as darkness and the cold of the desert has begun to grip Alkirat, and fires begin to alight all across the city. Tell me, what are you guys doing? How you guys feeling?
Frustrated.
Rahima's feeling pretty hopeful.
Yeah, Remy,
Excited.
how are
for
you
the city.
feeling that you weren't told to sit down and do nothing, because you're required?
Yeah. Oh wait. Sorry. Could you repeat that last bit of the sentence?
No,
Got cut off.
no. I was just saying, how is it? How does it? I imagine I'm curious how you're feeling, as you're probably expecting the to fight the Sultan to let you go help with Rumble.
Yes.
Because you are necessary.
Yes, Rahima is pleasantly surprised that she wasn't told to essentially twiddle her thumbs while this was happening. She obviously not pleased that this is happening, but she is excited to prepare and go on this expedition with everyone. Secondary expedition. Especially on this Skylark thing.
And how are the rest of you guys doing as you're wandering down, smelling the spices, and for some of you, the first time in this place, this Kirat?
The majesty and wonder of this great desert jewel is completely lost on Arano at the moment, because he is incredibly suspicious that enemies have infiltrated, somehow got information about the caravan, and are working with murderous, savage beastfolk. He's wondering who the traitor is. He's wondering how far the corruption goes. He's wondering who he's going to have to malign himself against. And all of the comforts and wonder that this city brings is dim in his eyes as he looks at every corner and every shadow as if it can hide the person he needs to throttle.
Absolutely.
He's single-minded now.
Angelique, I think, similarly is keeping her head on a swivel, but that's because she's in a new place that she does not trust, that she doesn't know where anything is. So she's kind of also keeping an eye around. She's maybe a little, not paranoid is the word, but she's a little on edge. She's also on edge for a couple other reasons. Mainly the setting of the sun, and she's right now wondering when the soonest she can get a place to sleep and be alone is.
I imagine not out loud, huh?
I think she'd ask to find a place to sleep.
Any takers?
I have
Anybody?
a bed in my clinic if you want to sleep there.
Free?
Yes, unless you have an injury.
I might take that up. Is there any other options, or is it the clinic bed for me?
You could sleep in the church if you wanted. It's open to all.
It's where I will be.
Are there no inns in the city? Ain't no places to buy rooms for the
Not
night?
for free, but yes, there are.
I'm
inns.
fine with paying. Well, I don't care about money.
Cora and Arano, you two are very appraised in the goings on the city, right?
Yep.
Everywhere where a room is available is likely sold out because of all of the influx of people for the expedition. On top of that, you just had an entire caravan have to turn around suddenly, and they're all looking for places to sleep. You imagine in the time that it's taken you to go to the Ruby Court, what little rooms were around likely are going to be either overpriced or completely just taken up. I'll just give you that as a fair warning that it's something that you would likely know for Angelique. But there is like 5 different inns, in the city.
You'll have to buy someone out of their room.
Yeah, and they probably won't part with it for any amount of money that I have.
For a night?
All right, Ignis. Show me to this clinic of yours.
As you descend the palace deeper still, you see many places are still well and good open, including the Grand Bazaar, of which you can see over the edge of the white stone palace is filled with people and lights and incense and shouting. You can see that all across down the ways is plethoras of people as the city comes to life to an extent, even at nighttime. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Hello.
Oh my god.
She jumped me, dude. She jumped up and me out of my face.
She's jumping me.
Fight back.
Golly. But yeah. As you guys descend further down, you're probably down low enough that you can leave the palace at any time. Just depends on what you're looking for. But it sounds like a lot of you guys are looking for some rest. Rano, I'm not sure where you're going, or Rahima. Rahima, you said you want to go to the church, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine that Arano has personal quarters.
Probably in the palace.
Yeah.
Angelique might want to look around the Grand Bazaar before heading to the clinic.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering, is there anything open at this hour or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just because the sun goes down doesn't mean the party stops.
That's right. Listen, one of the benefits is that since everybody has everything they need, all of their work goes to commerce.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I think at this point, Arano is... I mean, is there much else that he needs to do, like at the church? Would Cora have a need for Arano there, especially with the intrigue that is going on?
In the church?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, I figured that'd be kind of a... We're gonna police ourselves on this one. And we were going to meet up with Delira in the morning, correct? Delira?
Is that a question for me? They said you can go tonight or tomorrow. However soon you want to meet up with Callista and the guild is up to you.
Okay.
They are aware of the situation, and you imagine that Delira will be all hands on deck as soon as possible.
All right. I think that at this point, Arano's going to want to get an early start, probably get up even before dawn. So would probably head to his quarters. If no one else needs something of him, everyone else is determining things. I think he would maybe try and find some gauntlets.
Grand Bazaar?
Yeah, I think that would be the one little side expedition, and if we want to yada yada that and just get along with it, that's fine with me. Or if you want to visit on something because you want to show something, I'm good with either.
Well, it's tough because one of you wants to visit the Grand Bazaar, and you need something from the Grand Bazaar, and the Grand Bazaar is on the way to the Church of Asmodeus, so...
I guess we're all sticking together and going to the Grand Bazaar and the Church of Asmodeus.
I'm gonna be real. Like Cora's not going to stop. I've done it like 5 times now. She's going straight to the church. Like you guys can do the bazaar without me.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you guys can make a plan to meet up at the bazaar tomorrow. Either way.
I think he would want to do this and then turn in, so that, like I said, he could get an early start.
Sure.
Actually, now thinking about it, I think Angelique would want to head straight to the clinic now that I think about it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, that's no worries at all. And Rahima, you're going to go with Cora to the church? Okay. Aran, are you making any stops or saying any goodbyes or warnings or farewells or thoughts before you leave the party here at the edge of the palace?
I think we will. I'm gonna say we will meet at the guild. Try to be there before dawn. And as he looks to each of you for any dissent, if he receives none, he's going to turn on his heel and head towards the bazaar.
Sure. Quick question. Where's the guild?
Show you when we wake up.
Alright. Maybe?
All right. No other dissents from anybody else. Very well.
Just a quiet from Angelique. We? We?
It has been a very long day. This is the same day in 4 sessions, to be clear.
Yeah.
So
God.
your characters are likely quite tired, exhausted, night's fallen down on everyone, and turning around to Rano, the weariness of the day hits you. But for Cora and Rahima, doesn't end just yet. Though for Angelique and Ignis, the movement to your clinic does follow a similar route. Because you can go from here, as you're at the palace right now, you can go from right here to here to here, and then walk down along the way all the way to the clinic. So that does mean we're going to the Church of Asmodeus first. As you walk down the streets, you begin to hear, the sounds of people coming back from their long ventures and days, counting their money. Artists and performers are all getting out of costume as they come by. Some people give you looks, Angelique, as you go by, just of like noting your costume or giving you a wave. And nobody is directly unfriendly with you, despite your appearance. Rahima, it's very similar with you too, as they know that if someone's here, they have a place to be here where they paid their way in, With the incense and the smells, I'm not going to linger on the streets too much, other than somebody shouting out that if you guys want to buy fresh rags to keep yourselves warm during this cold and chilly night. I assume nobody takes them up on that offer.
No, I'm good.
Okay, very well. Beyond that, you will wander down the streets to the east, and eventually, without Orano oversighting the lot of you, you feel the lack of the presence of this warden that was beside you, this member of the Sultana's guard, and instead now walking into a different jurisdiction. You cross over the small river canal that has been burrowed through the Renar River, and instead down by some small farmlands that have been made with salt-resistant vegetables, as the Renar River is very salty and not drinkable water. You're able to look over towards the great church of Asmodeus, the second biggest building in all of Kirat, besides the palace. You can see that the Temple of the Five-Pointed Star is clearly the primary venue of veneration in the city. There is a long procession line that almost carves out from it, stretching and yawning all the way to the Ember Ring, nearly 1,600 feet away. When you come here, you can see that there is a plethora of mixtures of people. There is small commoners who seem to be all discussing things outside or in nearby buildings, debating things, scholars and the like that don't seem to be interested in the Nubian ruins. You can see that there is a plethora of lawyers who are going to and fro. You can see worried people that are ready to pay their indulgences, as well as you can see that there is a plethora of smiling folk who are welcoming people by or making donations to the Temple of the Five-Pointed Star itself. As for the building, I don't think your characters have much of a reference for this in your day-to-day life, but it looks less of a church on first glance to you, Rahima, and more like a office building. And I don't mean that in the way of like it's boring or anything like that. It's like there's the venerations, there's the flags, there's all these different little things, right? But it's quite small. And there's like an open backed area on the back end of it with pillars kind of shooting up. Like it's way smaller than, you know, everyone deems like the Asmodean church to be something massive out here. And everyone's quiet around it. There's not a lot of like celebrations happening outside of the church. But it is constructed from pristine white marble. And you can see that there are statues of powerful devils in flowing regalia in the entrance. You can see the 5 towering minarets, each crowned with a gleaming gold five-pointed star encircling a grand central door. But the attitude outside is very much like an office.
Your temple is very curious, Cor. It's not what I expect.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I mean, if it helps, we don't really worship the silent serpent in the way that most other cultures do. I get it.
I think we might have lost.
Did I lose internet?
Yeah,
or
I think we might have lost Salem.
No, Salem.
What? No.
I'm an idiot.
Did I cut
No?
out? Hello?
The ends of many of your sentences are getting cut off.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me one second.
Sure.
We heard "I get," and then that was it.
Oh, odd. Okay. Yeah. Rahima said, well, I get it. We don't really worship the silent serpent in the way that most cultures do.
Cora nods. Her mind is very obviously elsewhere, but yeah.
Right.
She's trying to push through.
There's a dichotomy between the two of you, 2 worshippers, 2 of the probably most loyal worshippers in the party, and yet one of you is covered in horrific scars that are clearly still wounded and bleeding. The other one of you, though was in the midst of battle, has no wounds whatsoever. But as you make your way forward in the air rich with the scent of incense tinged with a hint of brimstone, I assume you guys begin to walk into the entryway?
Yep.
Now, do you say anything to Angelique and Ignis who are close by? This is whenever you two would depart.
Well, I hope that you two have a good rest.
Yeah, I hope so too.
You too as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cora would nod to them, but not really anything of substance.
Okay. The 2 of you heading down towards the south side. You 2 heading into the church itself. For the 2 of you that are going down to the clinic, I believe it's less of a... there's going to be less RP going on, so maybe we'll handle that quickly first, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Heading down the ways, Angelique, you can go over multiple bridges, you can see market stalls, the people talking, kind of offering to give you services, clean your boots, the like, you know, that kind of thing. Small little indulgences that you'd want to have, or incenses, or ways to worship, symbols of Asmodeus and the like, and 1 or 2 imps that shout out towards you, offering if you wanted to come over and have a quick chat about the state of your soul and guilt.
No. I'm already decided on that front. Thank you.
And you notice that they very quickly turn away from you as though knowingly, like they can sense something with you, you know? And whenever they go to turn over towards where, you know, this like small building here where the clinic would be, Ignis just keeps going.
Okay.
And then you see
goes past
a large wall and a great green garden.
Holy shit.
a small pond, a big fenced area with some animals in it. You can see that there's a camel or two and some horses. And you see that there is this big square building. If you want to describe it for me, Ignis.
Jeez. Don't remember what we described for the outside, to be honest.
That's okay. You can make it up on the fly if you want.
I got nothing. I got the inside down. I don't know.
That's okay. On the outside, you can see the markings of some of the more known symbols of Alkiar. You can see the Eye of Progress that is labeled on the side. You can see that there is a swirling kind of texture that comes onto that flowing spot. And the symbol, Ignis, do you have a symbol for like your apothecary, your like medical stuff that you use? Or is it just simply because it wouldn't be a cross, because you know.
No, I think he just uses Asmodeus's mark, and then with the dragon eye in the middle. That's about it.
Perfect. With such remedies able to be gathered, you can see that there is a plethora of small people coming in and out, and close by on the outskirts, you can see there's like this golden domed area on the right side that clearly it has some kind of like purpose for art, like some glass that kind of intakes light. Other than that, though, it is a relatively simple building from the outside. But whenever you enter in, Ignis, from a 3-stepped marble staircase, as well as with a slanted accessibility for people that are gravely injured or require the animals that can't, like the camels can't go upstairs very easily sometimes, there is a multiple ways of entry and even a spot for something to fly in on the top. What does the interior look like, Ignis?
It's very lavish looking in the front. I'd say that it's adorned with many pillows and such. But there's a desk at the front with just like a reception desk, pretty much, with a huge pillow in the middle of it, which he would probably sit on. And then a couple stools off to the side that have like markings drawn on the wall by someone who usually sits there and watches, like a child. And then the rooms with the beds for the clients are just all separate rooms with doors, except for have you seen those houses where people really love cats and they have like the tunnels that go around on the roof?
Oh yeah.
He's basically got one of those into every room so he can check on people.
Yeah, that's actually really sick.
And so
That's
his
sick, dude.
quotation room is just a huge hammock in the middle of the reception area, and if he needs to go check on somebody, he'll take the tunnels around.
Dude, that's so cool.
You can see a couple little donations here and there, some flowery gifts, as it seems some people were worried that the doctor was not in for some time today. And whenever you make your way in, you can tell that a lot of the clients of which you've been helping of recent, or some people that have come in to be seen, were seen with some resources that I imagine you paid someone, or I think more likely you imagine Zaluna came by and helped.
Yeah.
But some people still have their camels stalled here until they can get better, and they're just getting some rest within their own little rooms. But Angelique, you come in here, and this is a place just for people to rest, recuperate. You can see outside there's a window to a small saltwater pond with some fish in it.
Huh. Place seems like a little mini getaway.
It's a mini oasis, I suppose. I like to take care of the big animals as well. That's why there's so much green around here.
I see. That's somewhat kind of you.
Yeah. You're welcome to any of the rooms that are open.
Sure. I think I'll take one.
In a small
And,
sick room. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you'd do in there?
No, she get in there, try to settle down. Definitely shut the door.
You unfortunately can't close the little hovel. The tubes.
Oh, the little tunnel?
Yeah, you won't be able to close that, but you got privacy.
I see. But yeah, she'd thank you, Ignis. She wouldn't be rude. She'd thank you for the room. I appreciate it. If I had to pay for it, I would have.
Well, don't worry about it. You paid plenty with saving us all out there.
Sure. And she'll enter the room, and you'll hear gear start being taken off, and then a very bright light.
Do you peek?
No, I don't think he does. I think he's getting all cozy.
Good.
Writing like a note, like I'm leaving. Do not.
Yeah. Sure. All right. You check up on some of your sick patients, I imagine. All of which, as you know, are on recovery, and Zaluna's paid for anything that needs to be funded for them. That being said, I imagine you find your way to your hammock. You find a small treat that's been left for you, which is a single gold coin and a cocoa nut that's been fermented.
Perfect.
Cocoa nut.
From one of your, to be clear, cocoa as in chocolate.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not,
I got it right as you started to cocoa nut.
Yeah.
Okay.
That have been left as your gift for the day, or like gifts that have been given for the day. But I mean, you were only here like 8 hours ago, so it feels kind of weird. You were ready to be gone, and now you're back.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds good to me. With anything else from you two before you guys bed down for rest?
Yeah, nothing here.
Okay.
No, there might be something later, but that's it for now.
What about you, Orano? You do anything whenever you go to rest?
My quick question is, did I get the gauntlets?
Did you get the what?
The gauntlets.
There was a shop in the palace that you could have easily acquired the gauntlets from, yes.
Okay. Simple, basic, well-made. Don't need anything special with them.
Sure.
Don't need them personalized. It is for having an option quickly at hand if we need to knock somebody upside the head. No, I don't think there's anything specific unless someone stops him within the Ruby Palace. I think he is going to take stock of the day, consider everything that he saw, all the events, all the things, and just brood darkly down to bed.
As should be. Okay. And that would bring us to our near and dear Church of the Five-Pointed Star. Now, the church is not allowed to proselytize outside of the temple grounds. There is no such challenges inside the church. Cora, or Versa, would you have any description, if you'd like to give one, of what would the inside of this dark place be?
I don't right now.
That's
I'm sorry.
all right. What immediately sets out to you, Rahima, is that this place is a lie. I believe it's your first time here, correct?
Yes.
The moment that you wander inside, you look up towards where the domed ceiling would be, the one that overshadowed even the doorway whenever you walked in between the two statues of devils, and the breathtaking painting of Asmodeus bathed in golden-hued light. But it is not there. Instead, when you enter in, you see regal, long, Gothic arcs, underneath of which you see dozens upon dozens, like ravens on roost, imps, all in different forms, whether they be raven, devil, rat, or scorpion, all like going across the top of the rooftops to and from between. You can see shuffling back and forth in this massive area, which is at least 3 times as big on the inside as it is on the outside. You can see like long flowing dressed, both masculine and feminine forms of devils that are going to and fro into different rooms that are closed and have markings in infernal across their glass stained doorways. You can see that there are massive pews which act like small benches for people to sit down and speak to devils. So you can see in the archway to your left and right, there are 2 devils that are more spike and nail than they are flesh. Like, that's what you can see of them. Even out of the eye sockets, there's just spikes and nails coming out of their faces as they have these long, devilish armor and spears that are just as barbed as the rest of their bodies. You can see that there is long, twisting forms in the shadows of this place. And there are papers everywhere, flowing in every direction, from either imps flying them to different people. They're discussing with each other, like small contracts. You can see there are people sitting down at various spots. And you can see in the center of all is a great fountain under the actual domed roof, of which that golden light showers down into a fountain made out of pure blood. It bubbles and broils in the center of this area, and you can see it's spewing out of a cherub-like form with a fly's head.
I think Rahima suppresses a shiver, like at all of these, for lack of a better word, like unholy, like sort of frightening sights. I don't think like the orcs of Ogrilla, or at least the ones that grew up in like the new generation, have no, I can't think of a different word to say other than beef with like infernal stuff. Like, I don't think they've really run across it before. But I think just this like purely instinctual, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be in here, like, feeling. But I think she does suppress it because, well, she's with Cora. You're
saturated in something you're unfamiliar with, and that is faith. You see tieflings that are acting as though this is, completely normal, and though it is strange to you, there appears to be no hostilities between anything, to and fro, contracts are being done. You can see that as you kind of come forward, some of the very well dressed in suits and whatnot, tieflings smile towards you. When they smile, you can see their teeth are made up of blackened coal-like substance, and their eyes flare with what you recognize to be from Ignis hellfire. And as you walk in, you are walking beside Cora, and you watch as where all these people were, and these people with things and imps just part like a tide. Whenever like Cora, whenever Cora enters, you just see like this parting of them to just not be in the line of sight, if that makes sense. And Cora does contrast very well because gold, black, and blue rather than the reds of the 5-pointed star. And Cora, do you have a heading?
She would first be trying to find Malekith if he is around.
Yeah, do you want to head towards his office?
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a somewhat thin line that spreads in the Church of the 5-pointed star, and that is anything beyond the blood fountain is kind of not where anybody should go unless they know where they're going. You know what I mean? And so up until that point, you can see that there is a passing that's able to be like pushed upon between the busyness that is the church and handling contracts. But once you make it to that point, the blood fountain is a very thin parting, like I said. And once you get behind it, it falls into quiet. You hear low chanting that seems to rise not from the ground or anywhere else, but instead echo from the roof and the corners of this place that are hidden in the shadow. And there are candles everywhere on this back half. Wax that is burned down to everything and dripping down. They look like icicles kind of hardened after time as they reach downwards like strong veins of blood. And whenever you make your way deeper in, you can see there are many, many rooms and causeways and stairs down to darkened places with no torches. Cora seems to be heading towards a double-way staircase that twists downwards towards the left side into the darkness. I assume you go with rather than to get lost behind.
Yes. Unless Cora says that I should stay somewhere, but no, I would go.
No, Cora's very pointedly like keeping you close to her, so you're not accosted by imps.
Imps trying to proselytize to me.
Exactly.
You do hear a hey, Cora, as you hear something fly down and like try to land close by. You can see they land on the top of the fountain.
She will look up.
And you'd see this like pot-bellied imp like look up towards you, that like quickly like realizes there's a hungry soul in reach and like buffets up and like grits its teeth and looks a little bit more scary, realizing that it's, you know, you're actually paying attention to it, rather than just moving on and never looking at him, as though he's used to you never looking at him. And the imp goes,
"Oh, you got there. What you bringing him in for? I can take him off your hands if you want. Just down to the bottom, to the back."
No. That's all she says.
Hello.
But
Have you seen Grigori or not?
Grigori?
you see he scratches his mutton chops for a second and just kind of sits there and says,
Not his chops.
I think I saw him. Yeah, I'll go ask around. Yeah, but I think I'll need some guidance. I could take the orcs.
I think if there is a visible way that Cora would like flare at very thinly veiled being asked for things in the midst of this question, it happens. And if you don't know where he is, get out of my way.
you watch as they go from imp to rat. Scour down. There's like a of brimstone, and they disappear into the hiding under the fountain. Correct. There is a cloud every time they transform of brimstone, and you see this little mutton chopped rat like go underneath. And as they go down and hide, you're left once again alone, and you turn down and go down the staircase.
Yes.
Not
the mutton chop rat. That's not one of my rent free.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. Another door. 1, 2. As you spiral down, you lose the sight and the light of what's above, but luckily you both can see in the dark, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another layer. 1, 2, 3. As it goes on, and eventually, Cora, as you go by, or Hema, you see to your left or right, depending on which layer of the church you're in. As you descend, you see like dim blue light past a doorway of like frosted glass, where you can see that there's like movement and people throwing papers up in the room, like it's a rowdy office. You go down a little bit further and you can see that there is some kind of flare of red magic, and you would hear the screech of a devil being born into the world. You can see that, as you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Cora, you stop at one of the farthest down layers. You know that there's another set of stairs. You'd never go down that next set of stairs. No one ever goes down that next set of stairs. That's not for you to step down. As you get to the third layer down, and you look to the right, and you can see there is written in Infernal the office of Malekith, and Cora Nubasov arbitration.
Got like a lawyer's office. But yeah, Cora would step through. She'd open the door for Rahima first.
Oh, thank you.
As it opens with a actual groan of stone, you would see inside is the chamber of a being of which is too big for the room he's in. You can see that there is this almost, it's less of like a, how do I say? It's not like there's like chairs and there's like wood that's put into the walls, because wood's very hard to come by in this place. Instead, it is darkened stone in here, as though it is deep as underground as you are. You've lost sandstone and you're in stone at this point, right? There is dripping liquid that seems to be pooling within the room, and there is a deep, dark green glow that comes from what seems to be some sort of pool. And as you enter into the room, it is mostly silent in here, save bookshelves which rattle on the closing of the door. On your left and right, where you see there's bottles and vials. As you go in, there is a silence within the room, but I assume you close the door behind you, Cora?
Yes.
When you close the door behind you, the glow in the pool of liquid in front of you glows a little bit brighter.
Malakath.
There is as a spinal cord with a tipped end makes its way out from the pool as it grinds against the stone, catching the sparks. As almost like a feeling ligament, it begins to reach out into the room and sends for you, Rahima.
Oh, Rahima will like step back unless Cora says to like stay.
I imagine she would give like a motion of calm, like it's not going to hurt you, but if you want to step back, she's not going to stop you. It's scary.
I think Rahima will at least like instinctually flinch, but Cora's saying that it's not going to hurt her. She'll let it do what it needs to.
The edge of it is virulent and green with a strange substance. Your immediate sense, Rahima, is a venom. Like a very, very, like, caustic, acidic venom. It never touches you, though, just drips onto the ground. Before you would see breaching is a set, then a second set, then a third set of insectoid-like wings that begins to breach from the pool. Then two massive horns, two claws pull themselves out from the pool, and you would see a long, thin, lithe devil covered in scale and bone. It has a long bone spinal cord that runs down its back that's jagged as blades with little webbed fins in it, as though it could, for swimming underwater. Same running down its tail. And you would see looming up, though it is hunched over, so it's only like 9 feet tall. You imagine at full height, it's something around 16 feet. This massive being that is way too big to be in this room, and there is a staircase behind him up to a small area of which there is more items and like contracts and the like, and you would see a glowing set of green, not eyes, just a light within the skull flare open, and you'd watch as, Cora, I imagine you hold your arm out, the skull falls down limp in your hand.
Yes, I imagine whenever he appears, the skull that floats over Cora's shoulder returns to the top of his shoulder.
And you would see the great devil Malekith.
Oh, holy shit!
Whoa, this guy
That's my
looks sick.
boy.
It looms down towards you and kind of like looks left, then looks right at the both of you in here. It chatters its teeth once before you'd hear the voice boom out without it needing to move its jaws. As it says,
Rima, Seeker.
Yes? That's...
Are you in need of a bed?
it gestures to the back of the room.
I don't use mine. The previous tenant was a lot smaller.
You can see Cora
Well,
kind of
is-
rolls her eyes.
I mean, I am in need of a bed. This is...
It like brings out a claw, and you can see the claws are like needle points, literally like at the edge, right? As you can see, and it like holds out its hand and it says,
Give spinal cord of the whisper of truth.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Malekith.
it. Go ahead, Angelique. Sorry.
Oh no, I just said that's a fucking raw name. Spinal cord
it's
of the whisper of
awesome.
truth. That's metal as fuck.
It just kind of like waits there for a full greeting from you. If you don't give him one, he doesn't seem upset.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, as you already know, my name is Rahima Sanseeker. Yes, I am in need of a bed tonight, and preferably a place to do a ritual.
Ritual.
Boy, howdy, have you come to the right place?
Do you have a room that has access to the sky, like a window or something?
Yeesh. You hear him actually go.
Yeah, that's
Go ahead, Cora.
that was what I was afraid of.
Oh, damn, now I feel bad. Cause
No, go ahead.
I was gonna... Well, actually, never mind. My idea doesn't work. Never mind. Continue.
He goes,
It could be arranged. The pathways out of the temple, none of which I can take. So I will let my agent escort you in the morning. The halls of this temple are not safe to your kind.
This I figured. Thank you. I would appreciate it.
it simply dips its horns. It then turns towards you, Cora. As it does so, it says,
The other, as you know, is diligently attempting to solve the problem. How a cult has been able to sprout under our wings is embarrassing.
Cora definitely nods in agreement. Without the use of his skull, she's nonverbal, but she just kind of puts the heel of her hand to her forehead, dude, you have no fucking idea.
You don't even know it.
he leans forward and says,
But from those we have interrogated, it is clear that the cultists are as confused as we are, some of which are from our very church. They had thought it was the voice of a devil.
Above table really quick, I'm just gonna ask because my memory's fucking with me a little bit. The cultists did in fact mention the whisper of truth directly, didn't they?
yeah, they said that, oh, we were whispered truth, oh, the whispering, quail, that kind of thing, right? There's very similar motifs, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I was just wondering if they used that exact wording, because I think, Cora would sign to him that they are using that title, which is alarming.
Yeah, you see Malekith look down into the pool with a nod and says,
Then what we have is an imposter god. Quaint.
kind of like looks left and right.
If that is the case, then I don't believe this cult to be very organized. Which means someone has their hand in every dream of each of these cultists and has spurred them to individual action exactly at the time of need, with exactly as little information as needed, to be just as confusing yet zealous as possible. Simple tactics, but quite effective.
It taps the side of, it's very grating, the sound of its needle-like claws on its like horn as it begins to like sit there and pace.
She would ask about why Grigori did not show up when he was kidnapped.
Rory, I have seen that Margot has acquired the contract of the imp, so that you may seek out the imp in the city. It is from her belief that he is still here.
You can tell that severely pisses her off. But first things first, I think she would, like, if he was not watching at any point, she would recount the events of, like, what happened to the caravan.
Yeah.
Because she does confide in Malekith that it is, like, she feels as though it is a personal failing of hers as an arbiter. And she wants to repent for it somehow.
He nods. And then you just see without a word, he just gestures you to come up to him.
She does. Totally not dragging her feet.
A sin of pride. A sin of pride. Both useful, but misdirected. They must be punished. One is fixable. Find Rumbold. His contract is important to our benefactor. But the wrath, the blood you've spilt, was not your souls to deem. They were not held bound, and thus we have lost their souls forever. And so I give you two blessings.
Malekith grabs Cora with both of his claws, takes the tail, wraps it around the stomach, pulls Cora up 6 feet into the air, turns Cora to look at Rahima, takes the needle-like claws, pierces between her in each part of the rib cage. You see that the tail almost stiffens, and you see skin and ribs begin to pop forward. As this happens, the needle-like claws dig deeper into like the lungs, and you hear Cora begin to cough out some kind of, or at least like muffling, and liquid begins to spill in the wraps. And you see him squeeze as he does so with the tail and with the claws, and says, "Pride." And there is a crushing sound, and you would watch as Cora's rib cage is bent inwards towards their own heart. And you can see the rib cage that is made very clearly now, Rahima, because you have proximity, is made from Malekith himself, his own substance. Some kind of gift given, and he twists it deeper. You lose 1 maximum HP permanently.
Smiles.
It then like sits there and gives you 1 reprieve before it says,
Run.
And with another crushing sensation, you lose another maximum HP. With the rib cage bent inward, clawing towards your heart, unable to be fixed even by your own boons in amber, he then throws you to the ground in the water in front of Rahima.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rahima will rush over to help Cora up, unless Cora waves her away.
Yeah, I think Cora would hold up a hand as she takes a knee. Obviously that really fucking hurt. Despite it, though, she never made a sound, curiously. Outside of the coughing of the crunchy ribs, but yeah, she kind of just holds a hand and takes a knee, and you can see like the golden ichor that makes up the middle of her chest just kind of like dripping. But she shakes her head and just like motions that she's fine.
Okay.
Return the professor, and I will do a little bit.
There's a big... You can't see the smile, but there's a smile across the bone face.
We can...
Can intuit the smile there.
Yeah.
But she would nod.
Do you have anything that you would say to Malekith when this is done?
Not particularly.
Mhm.
She, it was a punishment she believed she deserved, so there's no rebuttal.
He will sit there, watch, smile, and then will say,
Rest if you must. Find Margot. Find Grigori.
he then begins to descend into the pool.
Yeah, I think Cora would get pretty much directly right away to that. Would she know if KL was back or no?
He had said that your other, which you
Yeah.
probably intuit, is out investigating the cult right now.
Oh, okay, perfect.
While you handle Grigori, he is going to go find the people.
All right. Well then, yeah, she would try to make her way to Margot then.
Okay. Rahima, are you going to stay as you see Malekith descending into the pool?
Like stay here?
Yeah.
Um,
It seems Cora's going to abandon you in this room with Malekith.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh.
I mean, this is a safe room for Rahima, as we said. But if she were to leave at any point, or looks like she wants to leave, then yeah, Cora would take Rahima with her.
I think now that Rahima has a room to stay in, Rahima's happy to stay here while you do your work.
Sounds good. Cause yeah, in that little back room there is there is a Cora-sized bed there.
I think I could guess who had this bed before me.
All right. In a stone cavern without the sky above you, though not unfamiliar to you to rest in a cave, I imagine it's strange in this circumstance. I think you got cut off. I apologize, Rima.
Oh, sorry. I said, yeah, no, I think she would... She would miss the presence of the sky, for sure. But, other than that, until she's able to get access to the sky to get Hauke back, she's content to stay.
Sounds good to me. Cora, I imagine you're going up to find Margot?
Yes.
Okay. You go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stairs, and there's a door.
Yay! I'm in there.
The door very simply says, Margot, attorney in hell.
Cora will step in.
We're closed.
I don't care.
There's like a pause. Do you just bust down the door? Or just knocking again?
Is it locked?
No. Unless are you trying it?
Yeah, she is just walking into the door.
Bursting into the door very simply. You hear from inside as the door opens, and inside you see just a room. Whereas Malekith had a cavern, right, in like a back area. You can see there is a room with a tube on the right that has a sealed, like, silver-esque, like, movement to it with like this warmth and like smoke billowing out from it. You can see that there is bookshelves upon bookshelves upon bookshelves upon bookshelves upon bookshelves, all piling up to the roof in this like 5x5 room. And you see right in the middle of it is a very clear, like this palm wood desk that's in front, with like a couple of small trinkets that are here or there, like a little bone. You can see that there is some inkwell and the like, and you'd see looking up, very tired with a book in her hand in Infernal, Margot, who like looks up towards you, the shock of white in her hair and the horns buckled downwards.
Whoa!
What's up?
She's such a bad bitch, though.
What's up?
There you go.
What's up?
Such a bad bitch, though.
Yeah.
I made this art in a bout of religious
In a bout of
fanaticism.
fever.
Very. I will say 2 quite large horns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a big rag. What can I say?
Core darling, what's all this? She like leans forward. This couldn't wait.
No, it can't wait. Gregory.
Gregory, I mean, he's gonna. We have the tracker. He'll be fine. You get some sleep.
I want to pop his head like a grape first. Where?
Oh, now, darling. She like puts a hand out and points at your rib and says, "Something tells me you need to lead on a little bit of the wrath there."
All right. I don't want to hear it.
She like waves her hand, like flicks her claws a little bit and says, "I mean, I'll give you the tracker, but I don't think you're gonna find him tonight."
Do we have an idea of how far away he is?
She kind of like flips pages as though that's like solving something, and like flips a page backwards, flips a page forwards, thinks for a second, and then she's like,
Margot.
"Well, I'll say this." And she like leans backwards and then like kind of pushes herself forward as though, you know, don't get into it. And like, he hasn't left.
That's the problem. And Cora's like leaning on her desk, like both hands, just like, that's the issue. He was supposed to be there.
We're already aware to breach a contract. What he's gonna get his, one way or another. I just don't want you hurting yourself.
Of dehydration? That's crazy, Raptor. I think that ship has sailed. I just want to find this stupid. In the meanwhile.
Do you want me to tell you, or do you want me to wait until the morning? Because you're gonna be upset either way.
I'd rather be upset now.
All right. She kind of like leans down and like she flips to that page that she was flipping away from, and she says, "Now," she kind of like presses her hands on it and like tries to navigate this for a second, like in a way that isn't gonna like make you more upset. And just says, "There's a bit of an issue."
No kidding.
About 3 hours ago, Gregory signed a new contract.
This effectively gasps all of Cora's flabbers. What do you mean? He signed a new contract.
Yeah, it appears as though he made a contract with someone named Zeth about 3 hours ago. It's really bad, and it's one thing if if a whim to waste their weekend getting drunk or pestering, convincing people to sign their souls away without legal representation. He needs to be found, no doubt about it. I wasn't aware of this situation, but the contract has already been signed by both parties, so it's going to be a problem.
How is it a problem? He already had a standing contract.
So this wasn't a contract to deal with the other contract. So like this was just a contract of power. From I don't have all the details because I don't have, it's like the imprint, you know what I mean? Like the contract wasn't brought back to me, but I can see the contract was signed. Like I've got Zeth's soul, is supposed to be hellbound,
Then we mediate for a new imp. Because he's not making it out of this alive.
No doubt. No doubt. That doesn't help us find Grigori now, So, tell you what, I'm going to get it all ready to go. In the morning, I'm going to give you the Hellstones, and it'll tell you where was the last time that Grigori's soul had an impact on souls around, and that should give you a pretty good heading on where his tracking should be. Now, as you know, the paperwork is hell, literally. So you're going to need to give me about the night. You're going to sleep. You're going to sleep it off, and then you're going to come at this at a regular, as I said, pretty fucked up. Made a new contract. So she pats the book 3 times.
As if that does anything.
Yeah.
The Pathfinder will be ready in the morning, and you're gonna figure it out. Now, considering he's out there making new contracts, I don't recommend you go about this alone. Either get your your husband, or you get somebody else while you're ahead.
If Kale comes back tonight, we will handle it together. Until then, his ass is grass. And Cora will relent,
Husbands?
step back from her desk. I mean, no, he hasn't done. No.
Oh, all right.
Margot, how
Yeah.
long have you been doing this today?
Today? What day is it?
Oh my.
I told you. She leans back and she's like, I said we were closed. I said I needed a break. And then I get this from Malekith. Oh, we need to find Grigori. And then I have to get up out of my business. And I have to come down here all 12 steps, mind you. she stands up and she takes this elegant cane that she has. And she says, now I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to make the Pathfinder so that whenever you wake up, I can go to bed.
Cora just drags both hands down her face and she just nods. Because she knows better. There's no arguing with Marco.
We're gonna get this sorted out. We're gonna get this done. Don't worry, bite. She comes up and pats you on the side and says, now you go to bed.
Uh-huh. Thanks, Margot.
Don't mention it. She
I'm gonna
will.
mention it.
No, you're not. Oh. I'm gonna find some way to steal that skull from you if you do. She makes her way upstairs.
Okay. Not my skull. And Cora relents. She lets her get back to it, and she will return to her office.
Excellent. Okay. Margot locks up her office after taking the new contracts, and clearly the contracts of Grigori to Rumble, and is going to go upstairs to start making a Pathfinder.
Yay!
With that in mind, I imagine you now have rest to be made.
Yeah, it's eepy sneepy time.
Okay. Where are you going to rest?
I'm gonna be so for real. If Rahima has got Cora's old bed, she's just gonna crash KL's office and sleep in his bed.
Duly noted. All right, you go upstairs, you head towards the right staircase, you go down the 6 steps, and door on the left, you head inside. nothing stops you from going in there, and yeah, you can get some rest in his office, in his barren, unkept office, of which he barely uses ever and does not keep clean.
I imagine this is not the first time that she's had to crash in his office anyway, just because, like, they're always together.
Yeah.
Which is why her old bed is mostly just abandoned at this point.
Yeah.
So she just kind of falls into a pile of blankets in the corner. If his bone devil is around, she kind of just like gives him a little and then just passes the fuck out.
KL makes a point not to be in the same room as his benefactor. His is down 2 more layers. But they don't sleep in the same room. They don't have that kind of relationship. In the way of like,
Dang.
they're not on terms of like, oh,
They're not
let's go
on
hang
terms.
out. Yeah, no, it's a different thing with those two. But yeah, no, they
Yeah, she just passed out.
sounds good. All right. And I assume you all get some sleep. And I imagine you all rest well. Or is there anything else before we call for night's rests?
Not right.
I think.
Yeah.
At about 3:30 at night. I'm gonna ask you a question, Ignis. You think Ignis is a light sleeper or a heavy sleeper?
I think he's a light sleeper in his clinic. Actually, I think
Okay.
he's a light sleeper.
You would maybe be awoken at about 3:30 in the morning by the sounds of like repeated shuffling, like ordered steps coming from Angelique's room. And that very bright light still coming from it.
I guess you'll
you
go
check?
investigate.
Are you knocking on the door?
He's
Or are
using his
you-
tunnels.
I see.
He'd be going room to room to see what the noise is.
Yeah, I think when you get to Angelique's room via the tunnel, I don't think she'd see you because she's busy. There's 2 things that I think you would note immediately, right? So I actually have to pull something up. I'm so sorry, I forgot. I didn't think this would happen this soon.
Okay.
I think you would see her dancing ballet in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And it's odd. She's doing... Do you think Ignis would know anything about ballet or no?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I'm not sure. What do you think, Adamara?
Probably not.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, even just on a basic, like, looking at her, you can tell she's doing dance moves that should have another person. And they don't.
Okay.
And she's got her eyes closed and she's humming. The second thing that you note that probably you notice first is the fact that Angelique has a halo.
Ooh.
Like, behind her head. Absolutely bright, golden, searing light coming from it.
Gotcha.
Very much not demonic. And, do you say anything? Do you...
I don't think he would. I think he'd watch and like survey, like, is this pain, and then like maybe go like, I think she's sleepwalking, and might back off after that.
Okay. But yeah, you found her dancing in the middle of the night, and she had an absolutely searing golden halo behind her head. Like a traditional halo you'd see in ancient, older paintings.
Okay.
If you don't interrupt, she doesn't notice you.
No, I don't think he would. I think if anything, he'd like put a pillow to block off the tunnel so it doesn't wake up whoever the hell's in the other room. But that's about it.
Perfect. Well, beyond this, you are not interrupted, Angelique. Except by dreams. So vivid, so real, so disconcerting, so enchanting. So real. Arano, you went to bed first. A bright morning and early correction for your mistake, as you would call it for yourself, your failure, is in order, but I have to ask you something.
Am I coming through? Hello?
When was the last time you failed? You are, don't worry.
I think that is a very subjective question.
On this level.
And that is probably the response you would get asking him that. Because he would not speak about Ironhoof too willingly. It's a different kind of failure. One he internalizes, one that he knows. Beyond anything else, he is wrong. Capital W, wrong.
You've seen, and you see that now. You were wrong then. You were wrong today to think you could stop it. You relive that moment. The look in their eyes. The sound of the chains. The guilt pumping through your veins. For the first time in a very, very long time, an ethereal presence presses into your mind tonight. A matriarchal voice once again asks you a question you thought that was a dream many years ago. And it's a different question than last time. What is the ultimate goal of your life? No, Karakaze?
I don't know if it's shame or anger. I don't think he has an answer to that question. Not one that he can give an honest answer to. Aiding the Zinzars, making Kirat a safe jewel that shines bright and never loses its luster. That's the usual answer. But that's not something that he was born with. That was not something that... This was something that replaced what he had. I don't know that he has a good answer for that right now.
You turn to this presence and say? Or is written all over you in your dream?
He's too
I
prideful to
don't
say it.
know.
I think it's unbidden. I don't think he's too prideful to say that. But I think it's over his face, over his eyes, yes.
You feel seen, Orano. You feel as though you were read. No matter how well you think you hit it, you were read. Whether that brings more of that shame is up to you. But you feel the presence leave you not unhappy. Instead, you hear, I will give you one. The presence fades. Rahima. When was, in your dreams, you believe, the last time you felt out of control?
In my dreams, like a dream that I had that I felt, or
Perhaps? Or in your dreams, what memory comes to you, or perhaps what's a dream that portends that to you? Either or.
I think that she has a dream commonly where maybe it's sort of like a warped and twisted like version of a memory that she has when she was quite young, and she climbed up a tree too high and she fell for quite a long time. So I think she can commonly dream of that, of falling very far and with no end in sight.
In this state of falling, once again, you feel seen, and you hear a voice that you haven't heard since you were but a child, climbing a small plateau and hearing your echo for the first time. And as you fall, the voice asks you, what is the ultimate goal of your life, Rahima Sunseeker?
I think she would say, in this moment, I feel as though that it's like almost a slow down, and she would say, to find answers.
The presence disappears without a word. Ignis.
Mm-hmm.
What's your most common dream? Nightmare? Up to you.
I'd say for a happy dream it'd be fishing. And for a nightmare it'd be having like his day play out as normal, and then slowly all the senses get more muted and muted until he can't see, and then he realizes he's trapped in his egg again.
As you feel yourself lulling down a pond, flowing, fish surrounding you, unable to be fished by you in your cage of an egg. Shadow is seen beyond its calcified form, and you'd hear a voice of which you heard the last time you were in an egg. What is the ultimate goal in your life, Ignis?
to die of old age and to repay the Zaras.
The presence leaves without a word. Cora, resting soundly in the bed of your other, you rest and rest and rest. What are you, in your dreams, thinking will come of Rumbold?
I think in her dreams, it's sort of like a simple solution that she just didn't take the time to see. And everyone is back home and like having a laugh about how silly it all was.
Okay. As you're surrounded at this table, the knife cuts through you that it's just a dream because of a figure who looms in the shadow of your window. And you realize there's more people at this dinner table than you remember. You have more of a family than you remember with Rumbold. Who is that? Why is that? In the window, you feel a presence that you have not felt since you were buried. This time, not but in a dream, she asks you, "What is the ultimate goal of your life, Cora? Anubis?"
I think she would admit that it's to finally have a family.
The presence leaves without saying a word to you. And you wake. And lastly, Angelique, dancing in your dreams, a presence approaches you. As I imagine you're dreaming of the same thing you dream.
Every time, that night.
You realize it's not but a farce. The shadows under the stars in the sky are painted by a figure so enormous they blot out the stars. It was the same voice that spoke to you before you took that first step, now reaching out to you again. What is the ultimate goal of your life? Redacted name.
I think she would answer to finally give my wife and I the rest we deserve.
Pulls away. Each of you awaken. You can take your night's rest. Thank you, Cora. I appreciate the meme. And as you each awaken, we're gonna do something fun.
Yay!
Based
Yay, an activity!
based
I
on
have to.
based on your fun responses, you'll wake up with some strange, renewed sense of purpose shown to you. This question pierced into your mind, and when you wake up in some way, shape, or form, you feel a force willing to act upon your behalf. I would like you to go into your character sheets, go to your attribute scores, find the lowest one, and pump it up by 1.
Oh!
If
What in
it's-
case of a tie?
Then it's your choice.
Pump it up by 1.
How do I do
Manually?
Yep. You have to do manual entry.
Manual. Oh, it reset everything to 0.
Don't worry. If you unclick manual entry, it'll.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna have to hang on for a second.
In the blurred of it, you can see what the totals were, and then you can just redo the totals. But just give that one a little bit more. Make sure to mark your key on what the key was before, and yeah. If you guys need any of my help, you let me know.
Do we?
Wait, what's the
type
key?
Is it?
The key build attribute store for you basically Ignis is wisdom, because that's cleric.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Cora, what was that?
I said what type do we put? This is core skills, right? Sorry.
No. This is your attributes. This is your like strength, dex, constitution, intelligence, wisdom.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is that going up, not.
Pump up the jam, pump it up. Manual entry. Oh shit.
We got a bunch of charisma people, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got +4.
1, 3.
Okay.
1, 2.
I will be a little stronger.
1.
Sorry, what was the fix for getting the
So you have to go to manual entry. If it helps, and then you just pump up the one that you want, pumped up by 1. You'll have to redo your scores, unfortunately, and make sure that you get the key ability correct for yourself.
It's whatever your lowest score is gets bumped up by 1.
No, I get that. I fixed that. I'm wondering, do I just do manual entry as to what they were previously?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, you can
Got it.
whatever your scores were, just manual entry to that, and then pump the lowest one up by 1.
Should we take note of what they were before this in case we need to go back to what it was, or is this permanent?
If it ever happens like this, or if this is this, I do not imagine this ever getting taken away in any such of the case. But if something like that ever happens, you don't got to worry about it because you just flip manual entry off and it'll put you to where you were, and you can just choose your ability scores as normal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So now I have an even dumber question because I'm stupid.
Yeah, what's up?
Getting an intelligence points dictates languages and skills, right? Like I would get a new skill?
It doesn't apply to skills unless you're level 1.
I thought it. Wait. I don't think that's true.
It's just the trainings that you get at level 1, I believe.
I don't know if that. I think you get a new thing for every intelligence point you have. But I'm not 100%. I don't know. I use Path Builder for everything, so it might
Let me
lie
take
to
a
me.
look.
Me when I'm dumb.
I got a buffer.
That stops it.
That is not what I was supposed to press, I think.
What did you click?
Daily preparations.
You wanted to press that after you were done reorganizing your ammunition.
I wanted to do that after. Okay, because it didn't automatically take away the temporary ammunition.
You actually then it might be the reverse. You're figuring this out for the first time. It's okay.
Yay!
Oh yeah, high intelligence
I'll
character
do
it means
it.
I can become trained in additional skills and might be able to
There
master
we go.
additional languages. I love how not clear this is.
I mean, it just said additional skills. So yeah, I would get an.
It said might allow you to become a master in some skills. One sec.
Oh, I don't know about that. I just know it, like. All right, how do I explain this? And I know this is Path Builder, so it's not really like applicable, but like the level 2 ability boost I have it in con right now, but if I put it into intelligence, I get a prompt to pick a new skill.
Oh, then sure, we'll trust that. So yeah, pick a new skill.
Yay!
I'd prefer it was a lore-based one, but I'm okay if it's not.
No, I'm okay to pick a lore skill. I only have one right now, so I would actually like to get another one.
Sure.
What kind of lore could Cora have? So right now I only got hell. Actually, I know the lore I want. And...
Does anyone else need any help before we can? I know it's probably confusing to do. Pathfinder's not meant for such boosts, but
What is strength give?
to hit and to damage in
Okay.
melee.
Carry weight.
Carry weight as
That's
well,
what I got.
and carry weight's very important in the campaign. So yeah, you can also get carry weight.
Gotcha.
What's wisdom give me?
Perception
Sure, saves, I think.
and
as
will
well, right?
save. Yeah, perception, will save, and a bunch of skills, including sense motive.
Gotcha.
Now this I will say. Oh, good.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask, do you think there's a better way to word this skill? I feel like that's a little too hyper-specific, but...
Oh. No, that will apply. The one that so like this is what I'm gonna make another one. So watch. So this is ones that it's the more hyper specific of this.
Oh, okay.
It's a hyper specific of that one. There also is.
Oh, yeah.
Those are 3 distinct different lores though. So, but yeah,
I think this one is appropriate for Cora.
sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, that works for me.
Sick. Then I'm good.
Awesome.
Actually, never mind, I'm not good, because
Oh.
I just realized I still have Shadow Tongue as a language. Which I can't imagine is going to apply.
It does. I know what it's standing in for.
Okay, sick. Then,
You just need to pick a new one.
never... Oh, I do? Oh, that's right, I get another language. Yay! But what would I pick?
I have my recommendation.
I would like to hear it, please.
Diabolic.
Oh! Duh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. It says that is in excess of the languages I can know.
Allow me to get rid of Shadow Tongue, then I just know that innately you have a sense of it.
Okay. That's weird.
Me,
Did I have like...
No.
have like more languages than I was able to know before?
So-
Because I didn't add
No.
Shadow Tongue.
So that comes from your species. The species innately in the Foundry module is giving a language that doesn't exist. And it's prioritizing that one over that. It is a bug of us using PF2E. That's it.
So, I am good to have 4 languages.
Yes.
Or I am not.
You technically
Okay,
only
perfect.
have 3, but yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Just ignore its error on that one. It's supposed to be on the other one. I've even gone in and tried to remove it from your languages, and it's not letting me.
Oh, it just repopulates because...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's not your fault. That's just this. But yeah. Everyone all good? Iris is back. You got your ammunition set up for the day, Iris?
Yeah, I already did all the crafting and reloaded all the guns. I don't know
Perfect.
how to populate the firearm cleaning, but she would have done that during crafting. so.
Excellent. Spellcasters, you guys redo all your spells? I know we'll get to the scene of which you bring back your thing. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
It'll take me a bit, but yeah.
Okay, no worries. I don't think you're going to get into combat within the next 10 minutes. Don't worry.
Joke's on you.
Gotta start shooting, gotta start blasting.
All right. So, with that all done, I will say this. Something does change, though. When you wake up, each of you are profoundly curiously and perhaps in some way sensing this kind of, you got this push for yourselves, right? This kind of like this kick in your goals, in yourself. And I would say that it's visible to the naked eye to an extent that your allies would notice it as well. Maybe other people wouldn't, but for example, in the morning, Angelique, whenever Ignis comes to check up on you, the both of you can tell that there's like a pep in your step in some case. You know what I mean? Like there's like a connection, or perhaps an understanding. Perhaps one that wasn't there before. That being said, we had multiple things we wanted to do in the morning. We can go over them quickly. Rahima, you woke up in Malekith's room, right? It was quiet, eerie, and every once in a while that pool bubbled. I will note when you walked across the water, it was only inches deep. Would you just wait in the room? Just wait for Cora?
Yeah, I'm not going out there. Cora, even if Cora didn't like explicitly tell me, Rahima can catch the vibe that maybe it's not a great idea for her to just go wandering around, right?
Cora, I assume you wake up, and are you getting Rahima first or getting the Pathfinder?
I will get Rahima first because I would like to introduce her to Margot.
Oh. Very well. Very quickly, you can wake up, you go upstairs. You can see it's busy as ever here in the morning. You can see there's plenty of people coming for their daily prayers. And whenever you go down back to your section, you walk down the 18 steps to Malekith's room. And whenever you do so, you quickly knock on the door, you open it. Malekith does not appear this time. Instead, seems to be enthralled or busy in his busy work. And said, Rahima, I assume you're waiting on this side of the room with your equipment ready. And still the wounds kind of there, but almost sutured to an extent.
I can't believe Rahima died.
Rahima, no!
I said... I didn't say,
sorry, we didn't hear it. I apologize.
Something's up with my mic today.
That's okay. Cora, I assume you gather Rahima, you head upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see... Oh.
I'm sorry. An important thought just hit me in the side of the brain pan. What happened to my lizard?
Don't you remember the... I apologize. The
got put in the stable.
There was a stableman that you paid for.
Yeah, but when we left, do I just keep him in there? Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, you can gather him for the investigation. They're just taking care of him for the night.
Okay.
Yeah, you're all good.
Never mind.
So you're an arbiter of the Church of Asmodeus. I don't think they're gonna like try and screw you over. On
yeah. You gave him a good amount of money too.
Yeah, that's fair. Fuck with my lizard. You're done.
You could atomize them if you wanted.
Hell yeah. Alright then, yeah. I'd gather Rahima and we would make our way to Margot's office.
Yeah, you see Margot's office. The door is already open. You can see there's two people in there. And Margot's having a shouting match with two imps in Diabolic. You can hear that they're arguing back and forth about the logistics of the word several. Where the imp is arguing that several implies a severance, as though it is a visceral severance, and Marco's calling him a dumb-ass idiot who knows what language means and should not be banking on nomenclature to try to get a one-up on a contract to get out before she skewers him the whole 9 yards, right? And before, there's like a wave, and then like, she takes one of the contract scrolls, rolls it up, and then until the imp like flies away.
He falls over dead.
She like shakes her head and she says, She like sees you both come in. She like looks up ahead and says, Cora, darling. I got it here. Who is this bright-eyed person you brought in here? Is a new soul? Oh no, you don't have a soul.
Oh.
Margo, you can't just say that.
Where's your
you
soul,
can't just
sweetie?
say that.
Sweetie, where's your soul? Oh.
Margot.
She like leaves. Yeah.
He's not here right now. Don't worry about it. I'll be getting him back later.
Oh, do you need any help with that, dearie? I'd like to know the process. You know, no,
I mean,
actually, I gotta go to bed.
I
I won't retain a damned thing. She like puts her hands up and she like flips a page and says, all right. No, I've got the Pathfinder here for you. And she like, you see she reaches into her pocket of the dress and she will put down a 5-pointed badge like star that you can see is filled with a vial of brimstone bubbling liquid. You can see that it's on a black background of actual brimstone from hell.
Oh. What
She
strings did you have to pull to get brimstone out of hell?
between the last 8 hours, you don't want to know. All you gotta say
no.
is that I have a little bit of a favor I had to pull in with a particular Bobby Devil who I did say should run into the portal a little bit harder to catch some brimstone on his spikes. And then he did so, and now I've got it. Now, usually that wouldn't be a problem because Pathfinders can be made pretty relatively quickly. In the terms of quickness, however, in the contractees, it would have been at least another 2 months. So, considering I didn't want to have you here until winter wane, we instead got that handled tonight, and it is attuned to Grigori. I have learned nothing more on this Zeth figure, but I do got the Pathfinder, and that's just going to be enough for you. That's more than you usually go off of, huh?
It is. I owe you one, Margot.
Yes,
also,
you do.
This is...
That's Rahima Sunseeker, right?
How the fuck did... Never mind.
She's
As in,
famous.
how many orcs are there in the city?
That's true. I guess I have talked about you a bit here.
I mean, she's also famous, so. That's you.
Oh, thank you.
Hmm?
I am.
Cora will kind of like glance at Rahima. When did you become such a celebrity?
I mean, how many people have raised the pyramid out of the sand?
At least 3 in my memory, but dead now. So I guess
Oh,
that makes a difference since you're alive.
very big difference, yeah.
Huh?
Margot like looks left and right and says, "If this a conversation needs to happen in front of me." She can, like,
Yes, it did. I was coming to introduce you to put a face
Oh!
to the name.
Oh my goodness, who am I? She like stands up and like she reaches out a hand leaning
Jeez,
over the
Margot.
desk and says, "I'm Margot. I'm an attorney at Hell."
Nice to meet you, Margot. I mean, you already know my name, but I'm Rahima Sunseek.
That's right. Now, if you have any problems, you come to me dealing with your soul stuff. I can help you out in a jiffy. Don't let Cora think otherwise. Cora's going to say, oh, she'll get one up on you, or she's going to give you the best deal. And she's right. But consider this. She leans forward a little bit out of earshot, and she says, I've broken a few out of their original contracts, you know. If you think that you're in a little bit of a bad tie, I can...
If I ever find myself in an unfavorable contract, you'll be the first I am.
All right. If you don't think the one you're already in, or you know, contract, leans back a little bit.
We all know she really runs this place, but we should get to it and let you get to bed.
Yeah, I probably should
Oh,
do
how long
that.
have you been up?
Yeah. All right. Well, this was nice. she closes. She closes her.
Not answering.
She closes her book, rubs her eyes, and says, "That's enough for me. You should get out there, go do your thing, have fun. You know, stab some bad guys, and if you know, tell me how Grigori's neck twists. And if there's any problems with the legal contractees, or you find out whoever this figure Zeth is, then you come and you tell me immediately, okay? Okay? You just wait until I'm up.
I was about to say, immediately? Are you sure?
No, not immediately. Just whenever the next earliest convenience is for me. Okay.
You got it.
Okay.
Thanks, Margo.
It's lovely to meet you, Rahima Sunseeker. Now you go out there, you get big bright eyes. Yeah. The temple's not a good reflection of the rest of the people of Kirat. They don't really know what's going on. We just give them great boons and good powers, and you keep them safe.
Right. Yes.
I'm
Fair
sure
enough.
you've seen scarier things than the Ogrila,
I feel like she's about to refute that, and then she no, actually I have.
Yeah.
She nods.
What's the difference between, a scary devil with a spear and armor and a giant fucking dinosaur? Alright, get out of here. Yeah, alright, get out of here.
I like this mode of conversation where she asks me a question and tells me to leave.
And with an easy escort out and back up the stairs, you guys can make your way out into the main area, the pews. You have the Pathfinder in hand, and you can make your way into the streets of Kirat. I believe you guys had a heading on where you wanted to go. Arano, I imagine you wake up, and before dawn, you've already made it to the guild, yeah? Arano's dead.
Oh my god, Arano died!
Arano died.
He had a heart
in his
attack in his sleep.
And then we have Ignis and Angelique. Now, did you guys go there before dawn?
I think so, yeah. He would have probably been up since Angelique will come up.
Okay.
Angelique would have not been pleased for you to wake her up, but she would have gotten up and walked out.
Perfect.
No halo, just the hat. She did not have the hat on when you saw the halo.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that.
Gotcha. I was just about to ask that.
When you go inside, Rahima and Cora, Rahima, you see the open sky again. It's beautiful. The heat haze kind of like dancing across the waves. It is perfect time for you to do your casting. Now, do you wait till you're at the guild, or do you wait until you meet with Arano, or be doing it now? You can do it now. There is public works and places to do rituals right in front of the church.
Yeah, Rahima would like to do it. She's not particularly picky about when, but wherever there's like greenery or something like that, which maybe is hard pressed to find near an Asmodeus temple, but Asmodeus.
Yeah, you want to find some green?
Yeah.
By the salty river right down here, there is a small little plantation of a couple of like farms that are trying to grow despite the salt river. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to be able to thrive beyond it. There is a couple of plants that are able to survive even despite it. There is, oh gosh, hold on. There is certain vegetables that are grown here. Asparagus, spinach, dates, and pomegranates, as well as a few beets and radishes.
Oh, delicious.
And you can kind of kneel down beside it. And you actually hear from this distance the great roar of a dinosaur.
What did he say?
You hear food. Food. You hear a way off in the distance.
You know, you'd think dinosaurs would be better conversationalists, but they just yell about food a lot. Anyway.
Cora nods
that was-
sagely as if she like identifies with that.
Cora, would you mind waiting for me? I would be okay with you going on ahead normally, but I don't know my way around the city, so.
No, take your time. I'm here. And she will lean against her halberd and wait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Arano's alive!
Yeah, Rahima will find like a little basically a patch of, grass, like sedge, whatever would be growing here. And we'll begin to do the ritual to get Hauke back.
Yeah,
If you'd like me to describe.
I would love for you to describe it.
Okay. So Rahima takes off her pack, and she, takes her mother's staff, and plants it very firmly into the ground, and roots sort of, start spreading out from it. And Rahima takes this, like, little satchel, or not a satchel, like a small water skin that she pours on the staff that is filled with, like, this deep red ichor-like substance. It pours down the staff and into the grooves and roots of it. And at the base of it, it almost, like, hardens and forms into a little egg that starts, like, growing rapidly, bigger and bigger, until it is appropriately sized for a pterodactyl of Hauke's size. And he springs out.
The moment as he does, colors, sounds, and whirls of the entire world reappear for you. You feel some part of you returned, and when that happens, you actually sit there for a moment and you watch as shedding off of you where those wounds were bleeding. You see pockets of red sand drip onto the dirt in front of you.
It's good to have you back. And she will uproot the staff, and the roots fall away harmless.
Cora, you do see that there is now a small pile of red sand on the ground in the city.
Can she, like, dust it away?
You would scatter it. It would.
I mean, I feel like that's better than having it be in a concentrated place, no?
Correct.
Or am I...
It would.
Okay.
You would do that. It would. You would probably know it would find its way back together.
Yeah, so probably no point, but...
You
She's
can
like,
you can either push it into the water.
Oh, yeah, into the... Wait, no, that's a bad idea. They would give it a...
You could throw it into the water. You could gather it up in your hands. Hopefully you don't have any open wounds. You know that there are people that are paid to go around the city and find any of it and clean it up.
Yeah, I think she would probably, like, alert someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rahima would offer to stay and watch it and make sure that it doesn't, like, spread further, while Cora goes and gets.
Sure. Going to get one of the many militiamen that are around here. Though the militia is only a third of its size because of the expedition taking so many of them, on the way. One of them can kind of call over. They see the location. One of them stays by, and they go call for somebody to come scoop it up. Likely a harpy who is under. That's their servantile job to do. To go pick it up and take it over the walls. They nod and thank you for pointing it out. They don't ask where it's from. Do you tell them?
Who?
Either
I
one
assume
of
not
you.
me, because I wouldn't. I'd leave that up to
I don't
Rahima.
think it would occur to Rahima immediately to do so.
Very well. Then it is no crime. You are able to get the red sand moved away, and you guys can head towards. You're probably going to be the latest people to the guild. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Now the guild itself is pretty known location. It is a big red building right over here. You have to go underneath some of the archways and the places that are overhanging with small little palaces and little villas. Those are not huge at all. They're just small, tall buildings on rocky plateaus. Plenty of people wave towards you, smile as you guys go down and through and in between. And you go by a small little villa with a little saltwater pond beside it. And quickly enough, you guys can make it to the guild, which, you know, for mercenaries, Arano is very, as well as Korra, of course, is known as almost a cantina. It is open, however, only to guild members, but oftentimes mercenaries try to find their way into here. You guys can make your way towards the door. You can see it is a double set, and you can see this big circular oval building that kind of awaits. You can see that there is the crest of the guild, which is that marker. Do you remember me showing you that Callista had? The teal background, the horns, the outward spikes. I can show it to you guys again if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and populate it for us, please.
Sure. Give it a second to load. There you go.
Yeah.
Yahoo!
Otherwise, the outside, it has banners with that motif, as well as some of the Kirat motifs themselves. There is the red top. There is this yellow gold roof dome. There is the stone around the circle of it that keeps it relatively cold, rather than being really hot. And there's a double doors that await entry. The main thing that you two would know is you've never seen it more quiet. When you guys meet up together, are you guys inside already? Arano, Angelique, Ignis, or are you guys waiting at the door for everyone to gather?
I'll be waiting.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
Rano...
probably waiting.
With a cigar in mouth, waiting in hand. As Arano,
Just hanging out.
Angelique, and Ignis all meet up, do you guys say anything to each other?
I don't know that he has anything that he would specifically say other than, your presence is confirmation enough that you're ready. You did everything you needed to do. He definitely has an animus to him before him that he didn't. Like he definitely has an almost nervous energy, like ready to go. Before he was very calm, very stoic. His eyes are just constantly darting around. He's fidgeting with his fingers. He's antsy.
I think in a similar vein, she would greet you. Morning, Kirikaze. But you see her hand is like resting on the pistol as if like ready to just at a moment's notice. Like every now and then twitching like she's also ready to go.
I don't think he would necessarily respond more than just eye contact, but it would be something to where every once in a while his eyes do dart down to your hand. Like most of the time, like when you adjust or twitch, anytime your hand is on it, it's like ready. There's an agitation here, right?
Well, it's like a similar vein. I imagine you'd recognize, like, oh, she's kind of raring to go too.
Yeah.
Okay. Quickly followed soon behind, if there's nothing. Rahima and Korra come by. Rahima, no longer wounded, and having Alke, not far behind, happily whistling, jaunting. And Korra, who looks the opposite. Korra looks worse. Though Korra, you have like a better look about you, face-wise. It's pretty obvious, right, Korra, that like your chest area has been pushed in a bit.
Yes, absolutely.
There's like a little bit of dripping liquid from the ribs, and it's definitely been pressed inwards.
Have
Definitely.
I seen this sort of change before?
Maybe once or twice, especially like if you've been around for Korra's earlier career. you would recognize, especially if you've ever asked about it, that it is a punishment.
Okay.
But if you've never asked or never brought it up, then she would never have volunteered the information.
I think maybe it's one of those things that in passing, you would definitely get him looking over you, seeing this wound, and get a questioning look of, essentially, are you good, without putting you on the spot of having to, like, actually hear that question asked and have to verbally answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's definitely an amount of tact in trying to save face.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the extent of it, then she would just insist that she's good. There would never really be more to it.
Okay. I think he trusts enough that you would have the sense to advise if we're going out to the Red Waste, if you weren't ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Then I don't think anything more needs to be said regarding,
Okay.
at least from him.
Brahima, nothing from you?
No, it seemed like Cora was reticent to talk about it further. And she kind of gathered what had happened.
As a witness.
But she...
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You cut out.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't think there's anything further from her. She'd greet everyone as she...
All right. And together, you guys can, with a morning, you guys are standing there talking to each other. Do you have any preliminary things you say before you go inside?
Nothing on my end.
Sounds good. Which one of you guys is
Nothing on
going
my end.
to rap on the door?
I will.
Boom, 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 boom. There's a pause before the doors open, and you'd see a about 5'10" burly orc man with a ponytail up back behind, a beard, tattoos all across his body, smile towards you with a big grin. Oh, welcome. You're the ones. Hey, they're the ones. And he kind of like waves you guys in, as just kind of assuming from the look at you all. And as you guys enter in, you see a room that is beautiful, a lounge. You can see that there's places for many people to relax, pillows scattered, a bar, drinks, elevated podiums for someone to sing or play and perform. And like you kind of sit there and you can see that there's contracts and bookshelves. But this place is dead fucking empty because all the guild is gone right now at the expedition. And you hear as somebody rushes over, and you hear the jingle of jewelry before you see a tiefling woman with skin as red as hellfire and blood kind of flip over, and she looks over and goes, "Oh, thank goodness you're here. I'm in the office. Whenever you're ready, have a drink, have some food." She gives a small bow, and then she rushes off into her office. Those of you that know her recognize Delira. As she rushes off, you hear, "Come have a drink," from the main entryway, as you see a scarred, armed, tattooed dwarf smile at you with the fashion of Dreckalore as he smiles, and you see, turning around with a big grin and a wave, leaning backwards after a good night's rest, is the familiar and the axe at the side of her, Callista. And she says, "Come on, I owe you one. I will come back next week."
Hooray!
Hooray!
Hooray! All right. How you guys doing? How you guys feeling?
Good! That was a fun
I'm
session.
good.
Yeah, lots of roleplay, lots of all that. So I'm happy you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys weren't too want to fight, you know, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm
Laying the
Yeah.
foundation down, getting the story, getting the plot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Big
I miss my wife
NPCs met.
tales.
You miss your wife, Miss? Oh, do you miss Margot?
No, I miss Kale.
Ah, he's busy. He didn't come back for
Well,
sleep.
I still miss him.
Yeah.
Big NPCs met. Big lore drop.
Yeah. You guys learned a lot. You kind of have a general thing to go off of for a Rumbolt. Some weird snake stuff going on with all that. That's weird. That's weird.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, is there a weird stone creature with a thing just like Cora? Why is there? What's going on? What's with the vizier? Why is he so weird? But I'm super significant. I'm a creep. Yeah. But yeah, anything
Sorry.
before we sign off? How you guys doing? Anything else?
Salemception.
Huh?
I said Salemception.
Oh, new
Sorry.
Salem.
So you flashbanged.
Were you saying Salem as much as you could just to
Yeah.
throw me off?
I'm so excited to have
Is it?
to have an NPC named
I have a-
Salem.
I have a question. Is that in the book that the cat is named?
I've renamed
Salem?
a lot of stuff that and like rewrote a shit ton of stuff, right? I kept Salem as Salem to fuck with Salem.
So it's in the book.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny. That's hilarious.
One of the small things I kept. Because
Just coincidentally.
for naming conventions and whatnot. But I hope you guys had a great time. I hope you guys are excited for next session. As we get kicking on the investigation itself. I always do this kind of thing where, especially with investigations and choice and whatnot, be ready to make decisions. Don't be afraid that if your decisions, I have consequences, your consequences, that's part of the fun, right? We make choices and choices matter. You guys made choices today. Those choices mattered. But yeah, nothing else?
I should probably take Pursue Elite back on, huh?
Probably tip what?
I should probably take Pursue a Lead back on since we're literally doing an investigation.
Yes, for as long as you're now helping out with what the guild has gathered overnight, for what could help, then yeah. But in any case, you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you guys are playing. Thank you guys are watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.